And we're back. Damn it, Bill! Hello and welcome to the Invincible Podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the universe. This is a show where friends sit around and talk all things Invincible, a comic book by Robert Kirkman. On today's episode, we're discussing the latest issue 139. It came out on August 16th, 2017, just a couple days ago for us. We also have some news to talk about, some listener letters, and then afterwards, we have this month's Fan Spotlight, which is featuring Devin from Jetpack Comics. And then later in the episode, we try out a new segment where we talk about some other stuff that's not Invincible related. So, my name is Ryan. I'm one of your hosts. Joining me, of course, is Bill.
Hi, everyone.
And TJ.
Hey, it's TJ.
It's just us this week. Liz couldn't make it. Brittany couldn't make it.
Yeah, Liz is doing her...
Did she read it?
She did not read it.
She didn't read it.
Which
I know
is surprising to me. I know.
It's her first time to
I know, to new issue kind of thing. Yeah, I know.
Well, she was saying that she was dreading the wait between issues, so I think part of her is kind of... She told me that the longer she waits after a new issue comes out, the less time before the next one. So I think
that I understand, but I also think that it's kind of habitual. Like, she's used to not reading it for a while and then reading it in a big chunk. So her not reading it isn't really that big of a deal because she's used to that.
She's used to going a month or so between things.
Exactly.
Interesting. Yeah. You guys doing all right? Anything else been going on?
Oh, lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff. Me and you went to Boston.
We did.
That was fun.
We met a bunch of people.
We did.
We met some fans of the podcast.
Yep.
Which was cool.
And they all missed me, right? That was the first thing.
It was weird, actually, because every person that came up to us was like, we fucking hate Bill. And I was like, whoa, Bill is my friend.
Yeah.
And you need to chill with that. And
but you had my back, right?
Of course.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right.
Yeah, they were awesome. I mean, awful. I mean, yeah. No. I mean, you got to take it back. You can't just say they all said that and then they asked about you. It sucked.
I lied to him, I guess.
It did suck that you weren't there because it would have been cool to have all three of us there and get to talk to everybody.
Our fan spotlight, Devin, wanted to talk to you about Metal Gear Solid because we told him that you were a big fan and he was a big fan.
So yeah, shout out to everybody that we met at Boston. We had a great time. We're gonna be talking more about it later on in the podcast, but a couple news items that I want to get to first. First up, there is a variant that was announced for issue 140. Skybound is doing a bunch of variants. What is this? For September's issues. There's an artist. His name is Lorenzo De Felici.
He's Italian.
Mm-hmm. And so as part of Image's 25th anniversary, they're having him do all the variants for the month of September. And they're awesome looking. So, Bill, have you seen some of these yet?
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
That's the Walking Dead one. Let's see. We've got Birthright. The colors... just everything, it's dripping. It's really cool. I like this Gasolina one. That looks cool. Invincible.
I love the Invincible one. It looks so sick. Those colors are insane.
Yeah, I love that. Manifest Destiny. And I think Kill the Minotaur is the last one. Oh, wait, and Horizon.
I really like that Walking Dead one.
Yeah, the Walking Dead one's awesome. Oh, and Redneck. He did a lot of them. Jeez. But that's really cool. It'll be exciting to get that.
Yeah.
But the Walking Dead one, Invincible, definitely. Otherwise, the Skybound store had an update. There's another pin. There was a Science Dog pin after all. Bill, I got the new ones. I got one of the Battle Beast ones. Yeah, it's on my bag right over there. But yeah, there's a Science Dog one. Didn't see that in Boston, but because I think that one just came out.
Came out while we were there.
Yeah, but that's cool. I like that. There is a new T-shirt. I am wearing it right now.
Mine is at home.
Yeah.
I almost wore it, but I decided that I want a full day out of it though.
Oh,
so I'm
I
gonna
see.
wear it tomorrow.
Yeah. It's the blue with just the yellow logo on it, similar to the purple one that's on the store. And then their Skybound minis that we've talked about a bunch of times are officially released on the store. You can get them. They're $10 a pop. And I believe they're going to be making it available to buy them by the case at a slight discount, which would be nice. It'd be awesome if we could do some kind of unboxing, if we can ever save up enough to get that, but we'll see.
You know what that reminds me of? Do you remember buying HeroClix? By Rick?
Yeah.
Buying all of them.
Oh,
and
man. everybody's sitting down and
we knew that there was one unique per like 12 packs or something like that. So we don't.
Do you remember not having money and just wanting things really bad?
Yeah.
Like I still want.
I mean, I still
kind of
do that.
But like, not as much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I do have one of them that I got in the mail today.
Can I see it before you open it?
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I saved it to open it live here on the podcast.
Is it sealed? Sealed?
Oh yeah,
it's like
still
glued
sealed.
shut.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So you know I didn't open that shit.
So what are the chances of you're going to get an invincible one?
3 out of 8.
3 out of 8? That's what you
There are
looked
6
at?
figures.
But each of them have different odds.
There are 6. Oh, do they?
Yeah, some of them are more likely.
Well, then I'm not
Kyle?
that good at math.
Yeah, Kyle.
Figure that out.
3 out of 8. Right. I don't think it's a very good.
3 out of 8 chance if they all had the same odds. There are 6 figures that are invincible out of 16 total.
So that's like 40%, right? Because 4 out of 8 would be 50%. Yeah,
I think. Oh,
so welcome to the Bad Math Podcast.
I told you I was bad at math.
Do we want to place bets?
I have a feeling. I have a feeling it is an invincible related one.
I feel like it is.
Really? Now it's definitely not.
But now it's not.
It's gonna be Kyle.
You're tearing apart that box.
It's gonna be Kyle, dude. You don't even care about the box.
I like Outcast, so if it's Kyle, that's a win.
It's a win.
It's not.
I'm feeling.
It's in a foil.
I'm feeling evil robot.
That sound on podcast is awesome.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. It's gonna sound really bad.
I have to open it.
Yeah.
Use your teeth.
Oh, don't use your teeth.
Oh, that hurt. No, there's a Terry thingy right there.
All right. Who is it? Let's see it.
It's the Indian girl, isn't it?
I know
who it is.
It's Pocahontas.
I was hoping it was Sacagawea.
That would have been really funny.
It's not.
Who is it?
It's Blue Invincible. Hey.
Awesome. Very cool. Nice.
Did he have black on his sleeves
Fitting
like that?
That's my first one.
It is.
Did he always have black on his sleeves like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just because it's short arms.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because it's black and then the blue gloves.
5 more to go.
Cool. Congrats, CJ.
Very cool.
Unless that one is an invincible figure.
That's what's his face, Kyle. You can tell by the shape.
Yeah,
but it's just supposed to be like
a bloody
shape?
one? That wouldn't really make sense.
Yeah, they're probably. I think those are 2 bloody ones. They've got to be.
I don't know why Kyle would be bloody. I mean, he's in an Exorcist comic, but I mean, he's not normally bloody.
Bill, did you hear about the Amazon deal with Kirkman?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right,
I heard you talking about it like during.
Follow the Invincible Facebook or Twitter.
No, I guess not. All right, Bill.
Not really.
I'm gonna read to you some of this. Walking Dead creator moves from AMC to Amazon with big overall deal. This is from the Hollywood Reporter.
What?
The Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman is on the move. In a stunning move, Kirkman and his Skybound Entertainment Company have exited their overall deal with longtime home AMC in favor of what is said to be a sizable 2-year overall deal.
Get the fuck out of here!
With Amazon.
Is this because he's suing him? Is this why?
Under the pact, Kirkman will develop TV projects exclusively for Amazon Prime's video platform, which will also have a first look deal with Skybound.
Oh my god!
So,
as usual, a lot of people are thinking that this is something that it's not.
Yeah. He has gone on record saying that this doesn't really affect Walking Dead
right now.
Walking Dead is not changing anything. Invincible movie, nothing's changing. It's
basically a first look deal. Yeah. That's what it is.
It's just another deal that he's worked with somebody. There is a lawsuit going on with Kirkman. And
the producers. With AMC.
Over.
Which, ironically enough, when Frank Darabont was all like, AMC's like cutting my whatever he was supposed to get.
They're pretty much doing the same thing.
No one was like, oh, okay, whatever, Frank Darabont. You're just pissed off that you left after the 2nd season. But now that it's happening again, and Kirkman's part of it.
Yeah, and it's a lot of money apparently.
Why would they fucking do that?
I don't know. And it's one of those things that we don't know anything about this.
Do you know?
What's that?
I don't know. You just said I don't know like 6 times.
Did
so
I?
I was making fun
I'm
of
sorry. No, but it's one of those things that we don't know anything about this. Like, I'm not going to presume to have any knowledge on what the situation is, but either way, I would not be surprised if Kirkman is moving away from AMC. I don't think anything's going to change. Walking Dead's still going to be on AMC. I don't think this means anything. The Amazon deal is cool though. There's potential there.
If I'm making a prediction, that's
go for it.
Extremely, extremely far off. But I'm thinking there's going to be a Thief of Thieves.
I could see Thief of Thieves. That wasn't one that I wrote down. I actually would like Extremity. I could see Birthright happening. And we know from San Diego Comic-Con that Kirkman told a guy that there will be more Super Dinosaur coming. I could totally see that as an animated thing.
But I feel like they are focusing on Kirkman here, and Kirkman had nothing to do with any of those titles except for like Super Dinosaur.
They're all Skybound titles.
Or Wolfman.
Right. But they're focusing on Kirkman in this article.
Wolfman.
They're saying like Kirkman's Skybound company. I think that's all. I think his name is just a selling point.
Kind of the face of the...
Wolfman. Or, in a perfect world, Bill, Invincible tie-ins, which I don't think are very likely.
Why not? If Invincible's like a fucking hit.
But that's what I mean. Can you imagine Wolfman could be an animated show? Tech Jacket could be animated, could be anything, doesn't matter.
Tech Jacket would be an awesome animated. Wolfman would be nuts.
Yeah.
I don't want a Wolfman animated.
And it could tie into the Invincible...
Live action?
I want something crazy for Wolfman. I can't fucking...
Would you want it to tie into the Invincible movie without, being blatantly obvious?
That would be...
I'd love for them to do like a Netflix Marvel thing.
That's what I mean. Like how the Netflix Marvel movies or
where it
shows
does,
tie
but doesn't, but it does.
Yes.
But it kind of doesn't.
It does. It does. It's all canon. They talk about Thor and Hulk.
But like Daredevil, it was not in like Civil War. That's what I mean by it does, but it doesn't.
You don't need to.
You know what I mean? Nobody that saw Civil War was like, oh well, fucking.
Who's to say that they're not going to show up in Infinity War though?
It's possible, but I highly doubt it.
I think plausible actually.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea. I think it'd be cool if they were.
They should
tie-ins.
I think they're setting up all the pins properly.
If I had to bet, though, I don't see it being Invincible related. Skybound has so many other awesome comics and properties that they want to expound on, and I don't think it'll happen. Expound. Is that a word?
It sounds like it is.
I think I wanted to say expand, but then I just dove right in. I was like, I'm going to go with expound.
Expound.
And now here we are.
We're
bad at math.
And speaking.
Let's do a podcast. Before we jump into 139, I have right here that we were going to talk about Boston Comic-Con, but we kind of did that at the top, so I don't know if there's much else to say. Bill, you saw Jen's costume. She did a cosplay of Invincible.
Yeah, I'm so mad I didn't go.
It was cool.
All the pictures of you guys with like the artists and all the commissions you got, TJ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll be posting those. We've already posted a couple, but there's still more.
I posted them on my personal, which is my Twitter is Hero1197.
And I retweeted you.
Oh, on the Twitter. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're on.
You didn't do the Jay Lee one yet, though, did you?
I saw it.
I did it on Instagram.
Okay.
Which my Instagram is different than my Twitter, which I hate, so I think I'm gonna change it.
TJ's just whoring himself out right now.
Yeah. Plug in. But I'm gonna release them all probably on the Facebook page when this episode goes live. But I'm gonna do them like 2 at a time on Twitter, I think.
Cool. Yeah, I've got 5 new sketch cards that I'm going to be doing every Monday for a while. I was doing the Invincible sketch cards. I might keep that, bring that back up for those 5.
Is there anything that...
Oh, it's so hot here.
You're wearing a sweater.
Really, oh my God. I'm never fucking
Because you told me...
That's a cool shirt.
...how much money you spent. And I'm not going to divulge that information. I'm not going to expound that information.
Yes, don't expound
it's a new thing. We're going to say expound so much.
Yeah. But
do you feel like there's anything that you missed that you wish you would have gotten or paid for and taken home?
This was the first con that I went to where I really started diving into my Invincible commission collection because I was doing more Bat Family stuff. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish I got more Batman stuff, but I got some.
I don't think so. I think
dude, I do have an outrageous amount of Batman ones, but yeah, I don't know. I mean.
And we did Allens that you got?
A lot of back issue bins. I wish we kind of did that a little bit more.
There was some Ransom Getty artwork that I wanted. That's something I regret not being able to pick up. Yeah, that was it.
There's always going to be something that you're like,
always,
fuck, I wish I had 1,000 gajillion dollars. I'd say 1,000, but TJ, I'm not going to expound.
Yeah, expound. Don't expound on that.
So do you want to expound us through this?
This issue?
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Let's expound on it.
Issue 139 of Invincible. Right off front, the cover. This might be my favorite cover. I love the color on it. It's, I don't know. It just reminds.
Spacey.
Yeah, but this blue and
the color.
It's so cool. It looks like superhero ice cream, doesn't
He's killing it on the colors right now.
Oh, it's so cool.
Killing it.
Anissa looks awesome. The pose she's in, it's just such a good cover. Yeah, and this is one of those issues that I had to look at physically. I had to go to the shop this morning or today after work and get physically because the pages look so much better in physical than they do in digital.
They really do. Like, I'm just looking at it right now. I'm like, what the fuck, man? That looks so good. Mm-hmm. Even the cover.
Yeah, so first page, right off the bat, Nolan floating, ripped in half. There's like nothing attached to him, right? Like, that's like...
He's got one little thread of, I'd say maybe 2 inches of abdomen.
Flesh. Yeah, and Mark saying, Dad. We get Eve's reaction. So at this point, it was like, oh, so Eve saw, so she's able to see this.
Yeah, how was she seeing?
I thought that they were further away, like much further away.
So did I.
So did I.
But apparently the ship is much closer.
It is.
Like, it's just the command center, and they're just watching all this happen.
Yeah,
because she's not that fast.
No.
And
I even went back and reread because I thought he said you'll never make it in time, not you'll never be able to. Because then all of a sudden I was like, how come all of a sudden Eve can fly as fast as able to do this? But apparently they're not that far, this ship. And if you look on the second page, that alien that's talking to her, it's on the monitor. So they have video feed of what's happening. Which I guess doesn't that's not too far of a stretch. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we were under the impression that they were further away.
I thought so much bad shit was going to happen to Eve.
This moment, when she rushes out there, I was like, nope.
I was like, that's it.
This is it. So I thought Nolan and Eve were going to go down.
So I'll say this, my overall of this issue before I read it was, this was the first issue in End of All Things where I was like, oh, fuck, it's ending. Because the whole time I was thinking, like, well, Nolan's got to die. And then they addressed it, and then I was like, well, now what the fuck is going to happen?
Yeah, what is happening?
Like, what's going to happen? Like, now we're going to actually get to the ending. Like, yeah.
And so, this alien says, I'm still reading a heartbeat, but it's faint. And there's no way his remains can keep sending oxygen to his brain. He'll be dead in moments, I'm afraid. And then Eve takes off.
As soon as he said, I'm reading a heartbeat,
yes,
and then he talked about how there's so you're saying there's a chance. I was like, fucking come on.
I know.
And I read a comment on Twitter when someone said, let Nolan die. I can't believe I said that.
That was Mitch.
Yeah, and I was like, I fucking agree with that guy. Yeah. But we'll get into it.
We'll get into it later.
We will get into it.
All right. Mark's reaction now is, I love him just like, this is him tearing up, and he rips off the arm of the young Viltrumite holding onto him, elbows the one in his face.
Obviously, he was holding back. He didn't want to unnecessarily kill these weaklings. I think
these things, they're like.
I think he has been killing them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has been, but he didn't want. Obviously, he's being held back, and he's just kind of letting him.
I think
and then he's like, well, fuck this.
I think he was held down by emotion too, and then this is him breaking out, like him just surging forward, as you see. And he goes after Thrag. Then these 2 pages are so awesome. The fact that it's one image broken up into these 6 panels.
Which, if you're reading it digitally, which a lot of people might be,
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I didn't know. And then he showed me the hard copy, and it's like that 2-page spread.
It's so cool.
And it's one picture, but they're moving.
Because
and shit.
it's kind of showing how fast Thrag and Mark are flying around, punching each other. Because meanwhile, all these other events are happening around behind them. The Viltrumite flying through the bike that Space Racer and Thresher are on, and Alan in the corner fighting those Viltrumites. Such a cool page. So,
literally, like when this book goes up on Felix art, when they go for sale, I would take almost any page from this.
Yeah, this whole
issue, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, every single page in this is stunning looking. And so Thrag talking about the blood of Argol, seeing that, reminding us. I feel like it's kind of reminding us. I feel like that's Kirkman saying, hey, remember.
Yeah.
You're the heir.
You're the
How many times did you guys stop while reading this? To give yourself a break? Because
so far, this is the second one, because it was Eve leaving
That's when I stopped, too. I was like, nope.
And then, what's funny is that, like, the last issue, I read it extremely slow. This one, I was just like...
Because it was like...
in it.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose that feeling.
I thought that it wouldn't be beyond belief for him to blind Mark right here.
I thought how awesome would it be if the next page was just Splunk and his thumbs in his fucking eyes,
and we'd get like blind Mark.
Because
for a while.
because that's, to me, that would have been like Rick losing his hand, where he didn't die, but it felt earth shattering. Like you're like, holy fuck.
Like how
we're
are
planning
we
on reading The Walking Dead?
No,
oh my god! In fucking volume 4, please.
Because that would be, that'd be huge for Mark to have to go the rest of the series without sight.
It would almost be more, dude. It would be more devastating to the comic and like to his character than
to blind him than to kill him.
Dying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I was ready, and then.
But who saves him?
You know what? And here's the other thing. Invincible's new thing is, I'm about to kill you, and then the next page is someone's flying through to fucking save it.
It's happened so many times in the last like 5 issues.
Every issue there
because
has been at least
Kirkman's
one.
playing on our emotions.
He
knows
That's
that it's
all
the end, and you want
he's teasing us.
All right, I'm gonna go off topic for a little bit, but it's gonna circle back to this. Do you remember in The Last of Us, where every single time you go up to a ledge, you'd go, okay, and then Noel would put his back up, or Joel would put his back up against the wall, and then Ellie would climb up, and then there's that one part, because it got monotonous and you got used to it.
It was like one of my favorite parts of the game.
Where you go up to it and you stay there, and then she never comes.
Yeah.
And she's like, and you're like, what the fuck?
Your stomach drops.
Yeah, because you're like, this is completely, what the fuck is happening right now? And it's because Ellie didn't do, that's what I think he's doing, is he's setting us up for the save. Oh, there's gonna be save. Oh, there's gonna be save. And then the next one's like, Eve's fucking, Thrag's gonna have his hand around Eve's neck.
And we're gonna be like, he's gonna save her again.
And then it's, crunch.
Ugh.
It's gonna be like that.
But this time it was Robot.
Fucking Robot.
Big.
Who did nothing in this issue, by the way. He just showed up and he was like, I'm a big robot. And then nothing happened.
Let's keep an eye on what
this particular page, he just shows up in a big rocket.
Which is
the suit, right?
Which was badass.
Yes,
which is cool.
My point is, so this particular page that we're on, it just shows up as a rocket.
And Rex says, just because we disagree doesn't mean we can't work together when our interests are aligned.
Now, one thing that we always talk about that you already brought up is reading it digitally versus, the full page. And this is something why I think that it's better to read it digitally. Because
you liked reading
you turn the page, the first thing you see is Rex in a gigantic suit. But when I read it, I literally see
little bits and pieces of it.
I see him opening up.
Yeah, you're
that
seeing
was
it
such a cool thing to see it panel to panel.
Yeah, panel by panel, that is an awesome way to see that. Like him, it opening up and folding into
like
the suit.
When the page opened up and I saw like the fucking big thing after like and like hearing air release and like in my head.
That definitely is cool.
So good.
It's like a Hulk Buster or what do we call that? Vulturmite Buster?
Actually, I'm gonna spoil an email. We got an email where someone called it the Thrag Buster.
Thrag Buster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
It's the Thrag
Except
Buster.
it didn't do much.
Well, yeah.
Well, not yet, anyways.
I mean, you see them fighting in the background.
He throws a missile.
Yeah.
That's it. That's because I was looking. I'm like, what did Robot do in this?
It was a really good missile, though.
It was a big one.
It was a big
one.
Thrag saying, you sent toys to combat me. Yeah.
The next page, Alan finally noticing that Nolan was torn in half because he didn't
this has been happening pretty quick, but yes, I don't think it's weird that it took him this long. But this moment was awesome.
I fucking loved it.
Because you knew
Ursel,
it was finally happening.
Because this is one of those moments where it almost feels... Is it weird to say that Alan and Nolan have almost a deeper relationship in a way than Mark and Nolan? I mean, Mark and Nolan
and Nolan? No, I disagree.
I would not disagree with you, Ryan, only because
they're father and son.
No. It's not the right word. Then not deeper relationship.
Riker and I have a father and son relationship, but I mean,
I feel like we've seen more of Alan and Nolan together than Mark and Nolan in this comic.
Who is Riker's best friend? Do you think that Riker's best friend has a better relationship with you and your son?
He could after fucking so many years. Who knows? I have a better relationship.
Or no.
Okay, maybe it's this. This is
or no. Do you have a better relationship with me than you do Riker?
I have a better relationship.
That's what it is.
I have a better relationship with you than I do with my father. Not better, but like know.
We're talking about like.
So that's what I'm getting at. I'm not. I used the wrong words. It's not a better relationship or a deep relationship.
Expound.
But this is.
Do they have an expounded relationship?
Do you want me to expound on what I'm trying to say?
Expound what you're trying to say.
This is showing the relationship between two very close friends as opposed to a father and a son. Like, I liked seeing this. And Alan even says, Nolan, my friend, please no. And he, like, tears up.
Yeah, and I think...
I'll say this, that I think that Alan and Nolan could probably relate to each other better than Mark can with his father.
Yeah. These are two close friends as opposed to a father and a son.
Also, I think Alan has been a little bit compassionless. he's had a lack of compassion, I feel.
I disagree.
Alan has?
I don't.
Alan with Oliver breaking down,
You
like the
don't
whole
disagree?
first.
That was the one.
It was the whole first 2 issues of this arc.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, up until then, he seemed kind of heartless. Like, he's like, Mark, I need you back. I don't care.
Oh,
about,
up until
you
that
just coming
point.
back. You know what I mean? And then this is. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
But it's a great scene. I loved him fighting Ursula, and Ursula just straight up, like, her seeing Alan's reaction and just stopping.
Mm-hmm.
And then General Craig coming out of nowhere and hitting her while she's kind of like stunned. The first time Ursula gets stunned and Alan flies towards towards Nolan.
So we turn the page, and the first thing we see is, okay, so before this issue, when we were, like last issue, when we read the next on for this issue, I think it said something like alliances will shift. And I was like, this is it. Space Racer's going to turn on everybody.
Oh.
Now I am convinced we're never going to get that answer.
Oh, no,
I don't know
we're
why
not.
that issue ended that way.
No,
and I
we're
thought
not.
for sure we were going to get it, and now I'm kind of thinking we're not going to.
They had a fight, and he got away. That's it.
How did he get away?
He just did.
He was going to give information to the coalition
comic
about
ended.
Frag.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just
5 years.
nothing happened.
Maybe battles were fought. Like, I think that's just one.
Maybe.
I'm still holding on to like a piece of like Kirkman's got to know. He's got to know.
You should include that in a letters column thing.
You know what?
Write
You should,
and
or you
ask.
should. That's what you should have asked during the live.
Oh shoot, we
tweeting
should have
thing.
asked that during the live stream.
Like, what the
Damn it.
fuck
What a
is going
wasted
on
opportunity.
with
Wow.
Space Racer?
Yeah, but yeah, Space Racer and Thresha, after their bike got destroyed, he, uses his abilities to reform the bike, and we get a reveal here.
And then him saying, "Yeah, baby."
Yep.
It's supposed to be corny.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
She should forever be Battle Beasts.
Forever be with Battle Beast.
Yeah, dude. I don't give a fuck if he's dead.
Yeah.
That didn't even happen that long ago.
Isn't
did
Thrag like
Happened
Thrag's
over
not
5
really-
years ago.
No, never.
it? No, that happened after it happened
Before
before.
reboot. It
Oh,
was
okay.
issue 20.
So it's been a while.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Oh,
She can fuck who she wants after 5 years.
All right.
But Space Racer?
Hey. Alan showing up, trying to reach for Nolan as Eve. This is the first time we see Eve arrive on the scene. So, she's putting Nolan into what? A bubble just to keep him safe and pull him back.
To pull him back, yeah.
Yeah, I love this Ragnar attacking her and her shield though. And then we get Anissa.
On her way to help her out.
My God, this scene.
Yep. Because Ragnar's breaking into her protective
So
bubble.
as soon as I saw the Ragnar breaking into the bubble, my first thought was, what the fuck did you expect, bitch? Like, this is why he wanted you not to be there. I thought for sure she was going to
As
be
soon
done.
as I saw her bubble break, I was like, someone's
It's
going to
over.
zip into the scene.
It's over.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Anissa zips into the scene.
And this is zipped into the scene.
But she was coming before.
Yeah, no, this was cool. I like
Yeah,
this.
she was.
I like all their dialogue right here is so good. Anissa shows up by saying, "I've got you," and Anissa saying, "He needs you. You can't." Eve says, "Thanks, but you can't fight this thing on your own." Anissa pushes her away from helping, saying, "Don't worry about me. Just get to safety. Go." And this is the second time we see Ursula pause and look.
In like a big picture too. Like this is like a third of the page, if not more, and it's like all the destruction going on behind her, the fighting, and then just her hair's like in the wind. Like
She's
like
the space wind.
The space wind.
it's definitely up. Like
It's floating.
It's floating.
But yeah, which by the way, it feels weird continuity wise, but she was fighting General Craig, and then the next time we see her, she's still fighting him. So this is just a moment where she breaks free from him, takes a moment to look, and then is fighting him again.
Ryan, you of all people just tried to defend the Space Racer ending and saying anything could have happened.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm defending this, saying like again though, it feels weird. It was a little jarring next time we see her still fighting him. But again, yeah, maybe I guess she just pulled away from him. But this is one of the only times we see what do you call it? Thragbuster fighting in the background. Yeah. We've got
that's the missile.
Yeah, him shooting his missile. And then as Ursula's watching Anissa gets slashed
through like her
Right in
entire
between.
abdomen.
Yeah,
right
right down the middle.
Yeah.
Eve yells out to Anissa. Anissa says, "Leave me, save him," meaning Nolan. Eve says, "You risked your life to save me. It's only right that I return the favor, no matter what you've done."
Can I take this?
Go for it, TJ.
This is my favorite part of the
No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to. You
This
don't
is
like
my
her.
favorite part.
No, you don't like her.
Tell Mark I'm sorry that I didn't understand what I was doing, but that I don't regret what I did. He'll understand when he sees him in bold letters. The look on fucking Eve's face, I swear to God, this may be, I don't know, possibly one of my favorite things. That just those two little boxes.
I think the third one's even bigger than that. When she still is like, "Tell him yourself."
You'll tell him yourself.
That's so
like,
badass.
Even after, it's just
These three panels.
so real. Like it's
yes.
so fucking like they're just putting aside all the shit that happened, and I mean Eve has every right and ability to just let her fucking die after she knows what she did, and she's still trying to save her.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
love that Anessa said that I didn't regret what I did.
Yeah. Well, she also says that she didn't that she is sorry and that she didn't
Right.
understand what she was doing. But the reason she doesn't regret is what happened.
Because she loves her son
Yes.
or their son.
Yep.
Question: after reading that, do you still not like the issue of her raping Mark?
I don't mind it so much because she is there.
You obviously wouldn't have liked that as nearly as much as you did.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked in past new issue episodes where I hate issue 110. The whole rape scene I thought was a little much for this series, but I mean, I still don't like it, but I like it. I guess I like it a little more that it's bring it back into context now. It wasn't
handled
just
it
like
so well. Between
it was a story that was continued. It wasn't like, hey, we want 110 to be crazy. Let's throw a rape in there and then not fucking talk about it again. So I do like that they're not just like throwing it away and not talking about it. But yeah,
between Mark and his dad having the moment about it and this moment right here, it all feels like it's all worked out.
Coming together.
It kind of it came together. Then moving on, we've got more Thrag and Mark. Mark basically just telling him that what was it that he says you killed my brother, you killed my father, you're the one he's saying you're the one that caused our extinction in the first place. And then Thrag goes on to talk about how he can make more of them and that they're disposable.
Dude, like when he was talking about how disposable they were and they gathered behind him, I thought they were gonna like be like, fuck this guy. But they're so loyal to him that
he literally said he gave up all hope, or he gave up all hope of restoring his people. So he literally has no.
He doesn't care because he said he has no purebred anymore.
He just wants to be the only Viltrumite.
I thought his children were gonna turn on him though. But they're so loyal to after hearing him say that he doesn't give a shit about them. Like honestly, why is Ursula so different from the rest of them?
Yeah.
Like why can't they see that, why are you following the I mean, I guess they do at the end of this issue, which we'll get to, they do end up turning, but like
it's just loyalty, man. That's just brainwashing and so he says children to me and
grabs one and throws it at Mark and is just using them
as like ammunition.
Yeah. And they're still just all like, "Oh, me next, father, me next."
Yeah, he's like saying you accomplished nothing. You can't accomplish anything when you recognize those lower than you are fodder to be used as your pleasure or as you please. Like, it's crazy. Weak, useless. He's using the leg of one of his children to beat
bash him.
Mark with.
I love him throwing.
This empire.
I love him throwing it.
This empire is already dead.
It makes Thrag way more of a villain than he was in any other issue.
10 issues ago, he wasn't as big of a villain as he is with this.
Yeah. Right, because you find out that he didn't care all along.
He's just sadistic. Like, he has nothing. He's just all about...
There's no honor.
Destroying him.
Yeah, there's no honor. He doesn't care about his people. He doesn't care about Voltron. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to be the leader of anything. He just wants to kill
He just wants
those who
to watch
oppose
the
him.
world burn.
He wouldn't know what he would do if he caught a car, if he was chasing one.
So this is the third time Ursula glances and has a moment where she, witnesses what's going on. She's fighting Craig and looks back at her dad beating the shit out of Mark with, one of her siblings' legs. And Mark says, "I won't let you kill any more of your children. I won't," and flies towards the sun. And
grabs him and flies towards the sun.
And Ursula pauses. She's not fighting Craig at this moment. Craig actually is looking at her.
Because she's crying.
Yeah, she's crying. Like, this is it. This was her breaking point. It took 3 things in this issue. Like, she saw 3 things. You know, the death of, or the realization that Nolan had died on Alan's face. The Anissa of Viltrumite helping Eve and sacrificing herself, essentially, to help Eve. Also, and then Thrag using her siblings as weapons.
Ultimately, what it was, I think, was Ursula seeing the love that all of these people have for each other.
Yes.
And her not ever feeling that, and Thrag not giving a shit.
And the exact opposite being on display from Thrag. Like, these people care about each other, and they're sacrificing themselves to each other or crying over each other. And here's her father, who's killing them.
So we understand now that Thrag was absolutely going to kill Ursula in the cave.
I think so, yes.
Because she had compassion, and because he saw that once she knew that he had no intentions of restoring any kind of order to Voltron, just literally using these people to just throw it.
That's a great callback.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe he should have.
I love this 2 pages of these 4 panels per page. I love seeing these too.
Is there a reason what's his name? The African American Viltrumite?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a cool name too. It's
wasn't he the weird? He's weird, right?
Lycan. It's Lycan.
Lucan.
Yeah.
I always call him.
He has like he's like sleeping through.
He
this
does
entire
kind
thing
of look like.
And I don't know if that was I don't know if that was intentional. Like, he's like, I'm bored. These Viltrumites are too easy to defeat, or if it was just bad.
He does kind of have a bored look on his face.
Is he supposed to?
I don't know.
Do you not know?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't at all match the tone of,
I think
like...
he also kind of has a look on his face like...
sadness?
I'm gonna fuck these bitches up.
I don't know. It's almost like maybe he just doesn't like the fact that he's cutting that one's head off. Because he's literally cutting someone's head off right there. And it's a shame.
He's like, this blood's never gonna come out.
Yeah, maybe. Meanwhile, the one with the receding hairline behind him has like
laughing. A wicked smile on his face. I know, that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't fit the tone. It's weird. I was trying to figure it out.
And
the tone.
Thula is still throwing that one around, that Ragnar around, that's on that whip that she cut off last issue. So that's kind of cool that they're still doing that. Still doing that thing.
Space Racer's still racing.
Still racing
Through the spacing.
That small panel of Invincible and Thrag going towards the sun. And Robot, we didn't point out that a couple pages ago, he came out of his suit, his Thrag Buster. But it was weird that he showed up in this issue, but his presence wasn't really noticeable other than that save.
And it was I mean, the last issue ended with him like, I'm going to fuck shit up.
It was like the last 2 pages. Like, it was a big deal.
He didn't really do anything.
He didn't. I didn't really care for that. But...
I mean, he saved Mark, but that was pretty much it. He's on the scene helping. And, yeah, Alan fighting, and then Ursula. Soldiers of the new Viltrum Empire, hear me. And she says that they surrender. She said, our father has abandoned us. He no longer fights for us if he ever truly did. So I will no longer fight for him. And then they all surrender.
Join me in surrender.
I love that page of her. Yeah. Now, one thing that has to be obvious or stated, even though it's obvious, that we'll see, especially on the last page, having the sun as a really close backdrop is so awesome. Like, the lighting, the coloring in this issue, like it's this awesome contrast between this, like, contrast. Yeah, between the black and the sun itself. Like, it just looks so cool. And so seeing her with this glow behind her and her hair in the air or in space floating there, it just looks so cool. So yeah, they surrender. Alan says,
good. You're much wiser than your father.
Mm-hmm. And then one of the doctors is standing over in front of Eve, standing over Nolan's body and Anissa's body, and says,
in front of Nolan.
This one is still breathing, referring to Nolan.
And then the young Viltrumites are being...
and would you say that it's very clear that Anissa has a dead look on her face?
Absolutely.
Like she is dead?
Her eyes are open, bloodshot.
I want you to rate the level of wound, okay? out of 10.
I know.
TJ,
I know.
what would you say Nolan's wound is out of 10?
A 10.
Okay, all right. What would you say that Anissa's wound is out of 10?
If his is a 10,
is a 10, hers is like a 6 or a 5.
I would say lower.
I would say even lower than that. He got torn in half. If she got torn in half the long way, I'd be okay.
Could almost be long way. It's hard to tell, but again, I'm making excuses. But we'll get to that in a second. They're all the Viltrumites surrender. They're in handcuffs. Alan said this isn't over. Where are Mark and Thrag? And then the final page, which is my new wallpaper on my phone because it's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, but their clothes would be gone.
I think that is going to be next issue. I think that they are going to continue fight. I think we know next issue from the cover that it's Thrag
I have a theory.
and Mark only on the cover, and it's like bright sun. I don't think we see anyone else next issue.
That's my theory too.
I think this is just those two, and it's going to be brutal. And I think the longer the issue goes on, the more their flesh is going to burn off.
They said it. Kirkman said in the.
That's cool. Yeah.
In the Penvinci Pals that we've never done anything like this next issue.
Can you imagine two?
Because I think it's just going to be them fighting.
Yeah.
The whole time.
That's similar to
Conquest.
issue 99.
I think it would be insane.
Him and Dinosaurus.
If there was no talking, it was just
That
them
would be
fighting the entire
cool.
time.
Oh,
no
and he was
dialogue.
like,
It's gonna be
he was like,
monologue.
Ottley, just fucking do your shit.
And it was
That'd
just,
be
here you go.
nuts.
You got a whole issue. Make their flesh burn.
Put your stamp on this fucking.
I
comic.
could totally see like it starts and their clothes are catching fire and burning off, and then all of a sudden their skins.
Oh, you know what? Now that
burning
I'm
off.
looking closer, you can actually see it's fizzling off.
Yes.
Like everything's.
Like-
Yep. Little bits of everything.
Like it.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be two bloody, charred beings just beating the shit out of each other. And
I also think Thrag is done next issue.
I agree. I think.
And then what?
That's it.
Kirkman
Robot?
said in the Penvinci Pals that issue 142 is the Robot War.
Oh.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Which-
So
So next issue
there's
is
gonna be
one.
lead up to that.
Yeah. So next issue is 140. If we think that that's Mark versus Thrag, Mark wins. 141 is the
set up.
aftermath.
Yeah.
Which is
Ooh,
the cover with Nolan on the front
Crying.
I also have a prediction.
And then
We'll get to
142 would be the Robot War, which would be
Okay.
after that.
All right, my prediction.
Go.
And he said that there will be
Have
a
to interrupt
resolution in 142, which makes for Robot, which makes me think what the fuck is going to happen in 143 and 44.
I know
What's-
those are the two that I'm.
What issue's next? 139?
40.
140.
140? Okay. Which has no one on the cover?
No, it's 140 is just those two. 141 after those two is the one with Nolan on the cover.
Okay, then here we go. Okay, so you're right. The next issue is going to be just them fighting. The one after that, Nolan dies still, but gets to say goodbye to Mark in a very heartfelt way.
I hope that that's what happens.
I agree.
Do we want to get into it?
We're
gonna-
at the end. Let's talk about Nolan.
here. Well, let's. I want to talk about because I think this will lead into it. All right.
Well, I've got an email to lead into it too.
High point of this comic, TJ. What do you think? Best part.
I mean, I already said it. The best part of the comic was Anessa saying to Eve, he'll understand when he sees him.
I 100% agree that their entire interaction, but that line was the best part of the entire issue.
I think I agree too. Second best is Ursula.
Yeah.
Ursula and her, and for some reason, her seeing Alan. Seeing Alan tear up might get my honorable mention.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, least favorite part of this issue.
The lack of Robot.
Really? Mine is this one's still breathing.
That it was my fucking because you have genius.
But yeah, I agree with TJ.
No, here's the thing. My thing with... So, in the very beginning, when he first said that, I was pissed. Then the more I thought about it, I would be okay if he survived if something... There has to be some kind of
resolution,
major consequence.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he can't heal, or he comes back crazy, or, like, he's paralyzed.
He's a robot from the bottom down.
So, yeah, like, something crazy has to happen where he cannot, like, heal and just be Omni-Man again.
Well,
I would prefer if he died, and he just got to say his goodbyes or something like that. If he found out he was going to die and got to say goodbye to, his wife. Like, fucking, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
dude.
But... I don't know. I think it depends, but I'm very picky on what needs to happen if he does live.
Here's an email from friend of the show, Mike Barrett, and he titled it "A Scratch." TJ, what do you think of when you see a scratch?
A scratch. Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, I think the same exact thing. It could also be Monty Python. It's just a flesh wound. The Black Knight that he finds. It's just a scratch. Anyways, Mike Barrett says, Hey guys and girls, if they're there. They're not, sorry. Another great issue from an art point of view, but I'm frustrated with one aspect of Kirkman's choices as a writer, and that's the character deaths. 6 issues ago, Oliver dies from a single punch, but in 138, Nolan is ripped in half and he's still alive. Now in 139, Anissa, the baddest bitch in the Viltrum Empire, seems to have died from a scratch. Do you think these deaths, or lack of deaths in Nolan's case, have missed the mark? In my opinion, the best written death of the 3 was Nolan, but he didn't actually die. Hence my frustration and email. What do you guys think? Love, Mike Barrett. And he's MikerB2223 on Twitter.
I agree that the fact that he's not dead, it was... So I think when we talked about his death last issue, we talked about, like, this is a confirmation. Like, he's got to be dead because he was completely fucking ripped in half. Yeah. And he's still not dead. So I agree with Mike. That is frustrating.
Geez, man. When this issue started... this is an awesome issue. I really like this issue. There are a lot of things that happen between Ursula finally turning, that some of the crazy fight scenes, the realizations of Nolan dying, and obviously the Anissa stuff. I loved a lot of this issue. But from the very beginning, when they said he still had a heartbeat, I feel like I didn't give anything else in this issue a chance. And it's all I was thinking about this issue. So I feel like I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have. So I was a little bummed when I finished this issue, especially because the beginning was he still has a heartbeat, and at the end it was this one's still breathing. So it was bookended by these two things that I was so baffled by that I feel like all the awesome in between, it didn't get, its due.
I really think that I do think he's going to die, though.
Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about that.
And I think that if he doesn't, there's going to be a major consequence.
Well, could say he survives, and maybe he's completely fine or maybe a little messed up, but the only consequence is that Eve went out to save him and Anissa died as a result. Is that good enough?
No, not even a little bit.
Because I can see that happening.
Well, okay, so because of this, Eve now knows, fucking knows that Mark has another child.
She knows what Anissa said, but she might not have. I don't know if
she has even an inkling idea.
Then what was the look on her face, TJ, that you were talking about?
I think it was confusion, but
confusion and knowing that she was gonna fucking die.
I think the look on her face was she'll know.
Oh, he has a son.
Does Anissa know? Does Eve know that Anissa?
Yeah.
Okay, and she says,
"It's possible
I don't regret about what I did, but he'll know once he meets him. Obviously, what would you fucking think? Oh, well, obviously there's a kid."
No, I guess you're right. Because she let it up by saying, I don't regret what I did.
The look on her face said it all.
I still think it's confusion.
No, it's not confusion.
You think she knows, like, she's going to be like, oh, by the way, Mark, you have a kid?
Yeah.
I think she's going to know.
She's going to tell Mark.
I think she's going to be the one to tell Mark.
It wasn't definitive enough.
But
she would have said, you already owe me pizza, by the way. I almost texted you and was like, cheese and pepperoni.
Double or nothing.
No, not
I think that, I think she's going to be the one to tell Mark that, maybe she has to see him first, but she's going to be the one to, talk Mark into it. But more with Nolan dying, and this is what I think, TJ, you said this, and I kind of agree. I think next issue, just Mark and Thrag fighting, and then the issue after that, I think Nolan dies. I think that
I agree.
And this is a death we've never seen before in Invincible. We've never seen a character die slow.
Yeah.
Ever. Think about it. They all die quickly. There's never a moment where they get to talk. If Kirkman keeps Nolan somehow hooked up to something to keep him alive, but his body can't heal, the wounds are too extensive, long enough for who's on the cover of 142? Debbie, and the center character is Tara. If they keep Nolan alive long enough for them to arrive on the scene, which puts them at Earth, which gets everybody together.
They're not going to go to Earth. They're going to go back to Telescria.
Or bring Nolan's body back to Telescria, maybe.
He's going to be live. So he's going to...
Either way, I think Debbie and Tara are getting to Nolan. I think they're going to end up together before Nolan dies.
I agree.
Next issue, Thrag's going to die. They're going to fight. Thrag's going to die at the end. He's going to go back to the ship. He's like, let's get him back to Telescria. He needs to say goodbye to my mom or something like that. Like, it's going to be sad. I guarantee it's going to be fucking
I'm pretty sure
sad.
The cover behind Tara is all the ships pointed at Earth. So
they're not on Earth.
Tara, I know. I'm saying maybe they come to Earth. Maybe they
welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think that's what's going to happen. And I think it'd be interesting to get a really heartfelt sad. Kirkman can write slow, sad deaths. When we've never seen that really in Invincible, have we?
No, it's really only ever been like the shock factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Cecil got his head stomped on and boom, dead. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
I think I'd be okay with it still if Nolan still died. I think I'd be okay with all this. I mean, yeah.
he needs to die.
Yeah.
He can't.
And come on. This was the last piece of the King Immortal future prediction puzzle. You know, Mark being the leader of the... I mean, I guess he doesn't have to die.
I think I'm almost more sad thinking about it now that Anissa didn't get to reveal to Mark
I know
that they have a kid. Like, and there's no closure. There's no closure between Mark and Anissa.
Yeah.
There's no closure.
Everybody else got it except
There's
the two of
that
them.
guy that she was with, the human.
Her husband, yeah.
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 Yeah, but Mark didn't get that
I think
closure.
that there's going to be... I don't think that there's going to be like a...
I don't
if
know.
there's a funeral, I don't think it's just going to be for Nolan. Or maybe there's going to be a funeral where Nolan's still alive and maybe dying or whatnot, but there's going to be a funeral for everybody that died in this war, and that's just going to be one of them. And what if that human, her, person shows up with Marky?
Yeah.
And then he tells them everything. I really don't think it's going to be Eve to tell Mark.
I don't know if it was necessary. I'm thinking about it, and yeah, we don't get that closure, but you know what? We got Eve and Anissa talking. We got Mark and Nolan talking.
Yeah.
Would it have been too weird for him to talk to Anissa?
Maybe. We don't know. We would maybe in some weird what if, alternate timeline.
I don't know I don't know if we need that, but I'm happy with that. And I'm interested to see where it goes. I don't know. But again, like I said, I couldn't stop thinking about the Nolan being alive thing this whole issue. But I don't know. Well, let's see what else we got. We got another email. We got one from Jordan Gilbert. He says, "Man, oh man, holy shit balls, amazing issue. So Nolan isn't dead after all."
Who's this from?
Jordan Gilbert. He says, "Nice of Rex to be a bro and come help Mark out in his time of need. The Hulk Buster idea was a pretty awesome. Nice to see Alan get emotional about Nolan. And what the fuck was up with between the romance and between Thresha and Space Racer? Yeah, baby. LMAO. I'm glad Anissa came to Eve's rescue. At this point, she truly has redeemed her character, dying for Eve to save Nolan. Let's not forget she mentioned Marky to Eve, so I'm looking forward to see how that's going to play out. As predicted, Ursula was going to go against Thrag, just wasn't expecting it this soon. So I thought I was scared reading this issue. I'm going to be even more scared to read the next. Mark vs. Thrag, Near the Sun. I was pissed when I saw the letters column. I'm scared for Mark, and I just want the dude to have a happy ending, and if not a happy ending, to at least live and beat Thrag. Glorious last page. Look forward to listening as always. Love, Jordan. P.S. I would love to be on the show sometime." Cool. Yeah, man. What did he say? The
letters
Ursula?
column? What was he talking about? He's pissed he read the letters column.
Oh, I don't know. Probably saying about how hopefully he said about him just getting a happy ending. I don't know if Kirkman was messing around with it. I didn't read all of it yet. But yeah, Ursula turning. I think this was about the right time for Ursula to turn, especially if Thrag's gonna die next issue.
I honestly thought it was gonna be last issue.
If Ursula didn't turn and Thrag died next issue, then I mean, there's nothing. I almost would regret the fact that Thrag doesn't get to find out that they all abandoned him if Thrag does die.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
He's gonna. Yeah.
You know.
Xavier Perez messaged us on Facebook. Just finished 139. So many thoughts. Starting with the foreshadowing of Anissa on the cover with the Ragnar's teeth in the background, Eve coming in with the attempted rescue of Nolan, and having Anissa literally die saving her while confirming that Marky is Mark's son, for those few people that didn't believe that already. Rex coming in full Thragbuster armor to help out was awesome, and interested to see how that plays out in the next issue. Biggest thing is that Ursula saw how Mark, Alan, and Eve cared about Nolan as opposed to Thrag, world's best dad, using her siblings as fodder to throw at / hit Mark, which made her decide to cease fighting and surrender. I'm so curious how these next 5 issues play out. Sorry, I lost my spot here. These next 5 issues play out starting with the battle on the sun next issue. Invincible hype is real right now. Side note, been loving the podcast. Keep up the good work. And I'm almost fully caught up.
Damn.
Catch up.
Damn. Awesome. I didn't mention it earlier, but our email address is theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. We actually post all the audio episodes on YouTube as well. And we got a YouTube comment I want to bring up. And this was in regards to last episode. A cool direction. I thought the story was... Oh, this is from Meme Lord. A cool direction. I thought the story was going was a war between Terra and Marky. This would be years down the line when Mark either gets too old or gives up the throne. Anissa would have Marky contest for the throne. Then there'd be this cool debate over who had the right to inherit Mark's place. The Viltrumites would be divided and take different sides, and we'd have a badass showdown on our hands. That's interesting. Marky and Terra, who deserves the throne.
And then Terra would use a dragon to burn Marky's castle to the ground.
I like that idea, though. I mean, I guess it's way too far. We would never see anything like that.
Maybe.
Maybe. But who do you guys think would be more heir to the throne? Is it his daughter Terra or the blood of Argyle in Marky?
Well, the blood of Argyle is in Terra too.
No, you're right. I guess so. But I guess I should say pure Viltrumite. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, he is a...
Pure Viltrumite and blood of Argyle.
Mark's not a pure Viltrumite, though.
More than Terra?
More than Terra is, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're not, you're not. And...
True. Yeah, but that'd be interesting. What else you got, TJ?
Scott Bodenhammer wrote us on Facebook, messaged us and said, "What a good issue. Nolan is alive for now, and Anissa completed her redemption arc. I really have no idea what Robot's agenda is. Does he have a hidden agenda, or is he just trying to keep the peace? I have been reading this book for 7 years, and it consistently surprises me. I am beyond excited for the next issue. I don't know why Mark and Thrag have chosen that spot for their fight. I mean, they might as well be walking on the sun."
Oh!
Mark chose it because Mark wanted to end it no matter what.
Yeah, like I think he's going. I think that is
It was intentional. He doesn't care if he dies or not.
Yeah, he's using the sun as a weapon.
Yeah.
So with that being said, are we all in agreement and just like, you know, for sure we know what's going to happen from the beginning to the end of the next issue? Like straight up like, oh, they're gonna fight, Thrag's gonna die, and that's gonna be end of that arc.
I see the final page, the end of it. And again, we could be wrong. We have been wrong almost every single one of our predictions.
That's not true.
We're pretty close.
We've been pretty right
We knew
sometimes.
Nolan was gonna kind of die.
Yeah.
If he does.
Yeah, if he does.
The robot. I mean, so there's the robot war is happening, so we still know that.
So,
that was a huge.
That's
prediction.
not a prediction though. He straight
we
up
talked
told us.
about we talked about the fucking like 4 episodes ago how we said it's gonna be
hopefully
the
it's
Thrag
Thrag,
fight,
then robot.
and then
Yeah.
the robot's
Oh, yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
the big
Yeah.
bad.
So I foresee, or I think it'd be awesome if the next issue ended with after Thrag dies, whether he melts into the sun like Terminator or something.
Oh.
Yeah, thumbs up on the
Yeah.
way down in. Yeah.
Or the middle finger.
Or the middle finger. It's just that'd be funny. I foresee Mark like passing out similar to how he did after Conquest, or flying, or somehow getting taken back to the ship, and he has like no skin. I picture him being just all muscles and maybe even bone showing. I can see Mark losing a limb. I can see Mark being further beyond any disgusting
He'd have
damage.
to be in order for Robot to even stand a chance. Also, this is how it's going to end. Are you ready? This is how it's going to end. He's going to kill Thrag. He's going to be exactly how you're describing him. He's going to have no leg.
Crisp.
He's going to have, like, you know, fucking whatever. Dying. And everyone's going to think that he's dead. But Robot is going to go and take Mark. Make everyone think that he's dead. For some reason. For some robot
That's interesting.
reason.
Or he's just out of commission, and the robot takes this as an advantage to. Now's his chance.
Yeah, but he's I have a feeling that he's gonna make everyone think that he's dead.
I don't know, man.
people are gonna think that he's-
I'm more interested in the robot war than I am in next issue, honestly, because why is Robot going to be fighting anybody? We've gotten no sliver of evidence that he is evil.
Okay, so what if
He's doing things though, like he's got all their kids.
so what if this happens?
I know, but
what
he
if
hasn't.
Mark dies and Thrag doesn't? What if Mark dies in the next issue?
Yeah, I don't see that.
And
Which, by the way, I do want to bring this up. Any day now, there will be the solicitations for, is it September, October? I think the October solicitations will be coming out, so we'll get to see the cover for 143.
I won't get to see those. There's a sticker on my door that says
no soliciting.
Yeah.
So
you guys are gonna have to tell me about it.
So we'll see the cover for 143 within probably the next week. Do you think Mark will be on the cover?
Yes.
For 143, no.
Yes. Yeah, it will be.
Regardless, whether he is or not doesn't mean anything. We've learned that.
Oh, you mean like somewhere on the cover?
Yeah,
but he's
that's
not
what I
going to
mean.
be like the main.
Well, yeah. Now here's the question, and I'm going to put this poll up on
But
Twitter.
yes, I do think he'll be.
Who do you guys think will be the center character on the cover? And I'm going to pose it to you
That's
this
what
way.
I thought you were asking.
This would be the Robot War cover. So is it Robot? I think so.
I think it will be Robot.
I think it has to be Robot.
Ooh, or
it's
is
either
it
that
Amanda?
or Monster Girl. Yep,
Yeah.
that was my second one. It's going to be either Robot, Monster Girl. Who are the other ideas?
Rexplode.
Immortal.
You've had my body for too long, Robot.
Robot went back in time, brought him to the future.
That'd be awesome. Angstrom Levy.
You would.
It'd be Angstrom Levy. I'm 43.
Bill,
and 143.
Bill, give us the next issue. What's the next
I'm
issue?
gonna try and make this sound as serious as possible. The End of All Things, Part 8. Thrag has done the unthinkable again and pushed Mark to his breaking point. Wait, there are 4 more issues after this one? How?
You did good.
Yeah,
you did
thanks.
good. That was
Thank
good.
you.
How many times is Thrag going to be doing the unthinkable? And if he's, I mean, what else is he going to do?
Thrag has done the unthinkable again and pushed Mark to his breaking point. So maybe he doesn't. Oh,
So it's not just the two of them?
What if they don't fly towards the sun? What if
They
Thrag
are
is like,
in
fuck
the-
this, and he flies back to the ship and starts killing
And it's,
Eve,
again, it's
Tara's
completely
there
not what we think.
Because she warped there because the Star Trek people are there, so they have the warping capabilities.
Thrag and Invincible aren't even in the next issue.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite of what we think. It's everybody else, and they're off fighting.
It's a Rexplode issue.
Oh my gosh.
It's a flashback to Rexplode putting
What
his
if
body
someone
back
like
together.
took up Rex's mantle? All right,
Oh,
like
stop.
it could happen.
No. All right, we're gonna go to our Fan Spotlight interview right now. We sat down, TJ and I sat down with Devin Barry at Boston Comic Con.
We actually spent a fair amount of time with him during the weekend.
Yeah, we hung out with him a lot.
Very cool.
Cool guy. We talk a lot about what it's like working at Jetpack Comics. We talk a lot about conventions, specifically Boston Comic Con, some of the things we did, some of the things we saw. Obviously, this is before we read 139, so anything we say, we talk a little about whether or not Omni-Man is dead.
To which we all say, absolutely, he's dead.
Well, I think it still applies. We still don't really know.
Yeah.
We recorded outside the hotel. It was really nice out. There might be some wind. I'll try and clean it up in post. But yeah, otherwise, enjoy. You know what? That's a great place to start. I want to kind of talk to you about you working at Jetpack Comics.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
So you were just talking to us about, Ryan Brown and, their van tour and coming to visit you guys. When did you start working at Jetpack?
About a little more than a year and a half ago.
Okay. Now, just, in the time that I've known you, Jetpack comes up a lot online. They're a pretty big comic shop, aren't they?
We're a very small comic shop in size, physical size, but community-wise, we're huge.
Yeah.
We have people that come to our free comic book day from Massachusetts and whatnot because they prefer ours compared to Boston.
That's awesome.
Really?
Very, yeah. We have these professional Ghostbuster cosplayers that come, and they're awesome. They're like the 501st.
I was gonna say,
They're very similar to the 501st for Star Wars, but they're for Ghostbusters. Yeah, they're nice guys.
I remember hearing about Greg Miller talking about a company like that made the proton packs for them and everything like that. So it's
they spend like $2,100 just on their proton.
Holy
packs.
shit!
Yeah, they light up, and yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. So what do you do at Jetpack?
A little bit of everything. Stock, organize.
Read a shit ton of comics.
Read a shit ton of comics. Yes.
That's pretty great.
It's the dream job right there. I'm
yeah,
jealous.
it's great. Yeah, it's I get first picks on everything, which is always good.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to being
Variants and everything like
variants
that.
and stuff like
That's
that,
really
which
cool.
is awesome. Whenever we get really, really old back issues in, like first appearance and whatnot, I'll be like, oh, I need to have that. Like we've had a couple Spider-Man 300s in, and I've been like, okay, I kind of want that, but
Yeah.
it's a great opportunity, and I just do it part time.
Yeah.
but it's fun. It has such a great community behind it. The people are amazing. I have customers that come in just to see me and talk to me, which is, there's no greater feeling than that. There really isn't. It's like
like even the Jetpacks Twitter was like, talking about how you got to meet Stan Lee today, like on their official Twitter. Like it seems like it's a really cool community, like you were saying.
Yeah, we try to incorporate as many things as we can, people, communities like you guys into our community as we can. Like it's just we like having friends in high and low places. It's,
right. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of that, though, how did the Ryan Brown thing happen? Like the whole van tour?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm not sure as too much of the mechanics behind it, but my owner, Ralph DiBernardo, I believe he contacted them when they announced it. And I think they said when Charles Sewell was interviewed that they had like over 1,000 stores be interested in the style. And they only picked 14, and we were one of the 14.
So for the people that don't know,
Charles Sewell and Ryan Brown.
What the Ryan Brown
Metal Gear.
So for people
that was my Metal Gear phone.
It's a great ringtone.
We'll cut in.
It's all right.
So for people that don't know what the Ryan Brown thing is, can you explain what this tour was?
Yeah, of course. So they didn't want to. Ryan Brown and Charles Sewell, who are the writers, artist, and co-creators of Curse Words, an Image comic book. They wanted to do a signing and in a new, fancy way that had never been done before. They didn't want to just go to a con because they wanted to make it fun. They wanted to come to you, kind of thing. And I respect that. They wanted to find a new, unique way to promote their book that hadn't been done before that made them stick out. So they decided to do the Wizard Van Tour, and
that's such a cool idea.
I know.
That needs to happen more with comic book stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
and more original ideas for marketing and like to promote books. Definitely, it
feels like an indie band going on the road. You know what I mean? To start.
Could you imagine like Kirkman and Ottley and like Corey Walker all in a van, like touring the country?
I love. Well, we talked about Curse Words and Charles Sewell and Ryan Brown back when they did the variant cover.
For
issue 2, it was the homage to Corey Walker's issue 1 of Invincible, and it was an awesome cover. Now,
I read the first 4 issues and it was really, really good. It kind of got away from me, but I want to pick it back up.
It's Ryan Brown and Charles Sewell's Grizzly Shark. That's how I think of it.
That's cool.
It's not a very serious book.
It's kind of ridiculous, but that's what makes the comic.
That's what makes it's very fun. The art is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Ryan Brown is great. The cover alone for #1 where he's riding the motorcycle.
I have
that cover is great.
Yeah.
I actually have the gold variant, the one with the
sick.
actual gold. Yeah, I had them sign it. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Charles Sewell signed it, and he signed his name and he said gold with a ton of O's. It was really funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, man.
Oh,
Today
thank
is your
you.
birthday.
Yeah,
Fucking 20 years old.
20 years old, yes.
My goodness.
The worst year of my life.
Oh, man. And this is your first ever Comic-Con, which is cool because Boston Comic-Con was TJ and I's first ever Comic-Con 3 years ago.
Yep.
So how has it been your Comic-Con?
Oh, it's been phenomenal. I've been a nerd my whole life. Like, I've just been into nerd pop culture my whole life, but I'm not a huge fan of big group crowds of people like this. And so cons have always turned me away from that. But I'm actually very impressed. I'm handling it very well. I'm actually being very talkative and
when we first met you, when we were lined for Ottley, you looked like you could barely contain yourself in line. Especially when he came in, you were very jittery.
I was also really, really anxious to look at those original pages.
Yeah. Yeah, when he pulled those out, I was the same way.
Because we really didn't expect any original art. So.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I had never met Ottley before. So.
Yeah. Awesome guy.
Very cool. He was great.
We all got our sketches and back. But first to the con itself, this con was crazy. I mean, the first day, Friday, was really nice. It wasn't too bad.
It always is like that.
Man, Saturday though, that
was insane.
It's kind of my limit, like what you're saying in terms of like TJ, you've mentioned that you would go to San Diego and New York Comic Con. I don't think I would. I think it's too much.
Dude, I'm telling you. Once you get there though, because from what I hear from people that have went to San Diego, it's just as crazy as yesterday Boston would be, because it's bigger. So there's more room for people to move around, but there's obviously more people. That doesn't mean that you can't move.
But
yesterday,
even if the ratio is the same as yesterday, I don't like that. That's way too much.
So you wouldn't come back to Boston on a Saturday?
No, I mean, I appreciated this year that we did the Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing because it helped us to spread things out. I like that we got the majority of our commissions and talking to artists on Friday. Yeah, but then things like meeting Stan Lee and meeting any other celebrities or anything like that. That's nice for Saturday. But when I'm trying to talk to artists or look at things like
I was very
it's a
happy
pain.
Stan Lee was yesterday because I was waiting in
Saturday.
line most of the day, so
Right.
I didn't have to deal with a lot of people, which was.
But
very
again,
nice.
it wasn't awful. It's
But
just
not only that, but like it's a 3-day event. We were planning on only going Friday and Saturday, and I still got to go back today to pick up like commissions that I got to
went crazy, TJ.
I got to commit. I got all the commissions, like the first commissions that I got when I first walked in the door. Like Jay Lee, I got an Invincible from him that I got to pick up today.
Oh my
He
gosh,
was the
I'm so excited to see that.
That's gonna be insane.
That's gonna be crazy.
So we're gonna just for listeners too, we're gonna post all the fan art, the Invincible related fan art that we get on our Facebook page and Twitter. So keep an eye out for that. But like that was the first commission that I got, and it's still not done yet. So we have to go back today, and we weren't even planning on going back today. So
Yeah, I know.
like I think 3 days is,
Yeah.
I like doing
Perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
You get to spread it out. It makes everything less stressful. You have more time to do things. So.
So who else did you get to talk to? We talked about Ottley. Obviously, it was great to talk to him some more.
Yeah, I got, obviously Stan Lee.
Yep.
That was phenomenal.
And you did the signing, right?
I did
and the
a photo and a signing. Yes, I did the photo first.
And what did you have him sign?
Iron Man 55, the very first appearance of Thanos.
So cool.
And
Who is
Drax,
your-
and Drax the Destroyer. Yes.
nice.
Oh, that's been an
Thanos
appearance of
is
both?
your
Yes, it's a good double whammy.
Thanos is your favorite character of all time, right?
Thanos is my favorite fictional character of all time.
And Thanos is who you got Ottley to draw.
Yes, and
What
if
do
you
you-
haven't seen it, go on Ryan Otley's Twitter because
That's right.
Go on our
It's
Facebook; it'll be
great.
there.
it's
Yep.
great.
Did what are your thoughts? I mean, to kind of diverge just for a minute. Do you like how they're doing Thanos in the movies?
I do. I love it. They've talked about the whole death side of thing. I don't.
Yeah, a little bit. Like in
How they
Avengers, they say the words court death or
Yep,
something.
Yes, yeah. At the end, the outsider there,
Yeah.
Outrider, is saying to Thanos about the Avengers, and he's like, "Well, to fight me is to court death, essentially."
yes.
And they've talked about death in the past, and they don't want to incorporate death too much, if at all, in the movies, just because they try to keep it as kid friendly as possible.
Yeah.
And death. The whole death side, I don't know if you guys have read Thanos Rising by Jason Aaron. I highly recommend that book. Highly recommend it. It's Thanos' backstory.
Oh no, I have seen it, but I haven't read it. I heard I've heard really good
Jason
things
Aaron
about
does
it.
an amazing job with that character.
Cool.
And I'm speaking of Thanos, I'm also really excited for Donny Cates' run. He's the guy who does God Country.
Okay.
He's taking
God
over.
Country
God Country's
was
great.
awesome. Had an awesome start.
Yes. So he's taking over the Thanos book that Jeff Lemire's writing right now.
Jeff Lemire, man, he is one of my favorite writers.
Yeah, he's good.
He does Descender. Oh my gosh, that
Descender's
book
good.
is so
I know,
good.
you've been telling me to read it for
It's
so
good.
long.
It's so emotional. Like I love that book. He does all the best like Batman stories.
Huh.
He's awesome. That's very cool.
I hate Lemire's art. I'm gonna have to be very blunt about that.
Oh.
Whenever he does, I love Lemire. Don't get me wrong. He's a
Yeah.
great writer, but he definitely has an acquired taste when it comes to art.
Yeah.
Just like Sean Murphy, in my opinion. I think Sean Murphy's great,
Oh, I
but
love
he has a very
Sean
acquired
Murphy.
taste of art. It's
Yeah.
very.
It took me a minute, but I like it. I mean, I've only done, I think I've only read Chrononauts of his, but I loved
Mark Miller,
it.
yeah, that was
Sean Gordon-
So
or Sean Gordon Murphy.
when they came to Jetpack, that was the book they were promoting. I got to meet
Oh, really?
Sean Murphy and Mark Miller when
Yeah.
they came to the shop.
Sean Murphy was really nice though. Talking to him, we got a chance to talk
he's
to
a
him.
great guy.
Yeah,
He's
he was
super
really
nice.
he was really nice.
Unfortunately, when I met him, it was before I was reading a lot of his stuff, like Tokyo Ghost and whatnot.
I just read that, kind of like powerhouse through it.
Tokyo, and I'm so upset because I
him.
didn't have him sign anything besides Chrononauts #1. And I wish I brought more because
Yeah.
I
knowing him
bought the
now,
big like hardcover of the complete set of
I bought
Tokyo
that when it
Ghost.
came in the Jetpack. I saw that hardcover.
Yeah,
I have all the
dude.
single issues, and I was like, that hardcover is just too cool.
He
man.
signed it and then drew a sketch of the main character
Main
from
character,
Tokyo
yep.
Ghost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
Tokyo Ghost is a great book too.
It's so
Image
good.
is so much good right now.
I know they're killing
They're
it.
crazy.
I'm sure we're
I
gonna.
saw someone with an Image shirt that said it's the Image logo and it said the future of comics.
Yep.
Which I believe it.
Yeah.
They're getting so much more popular now.
Yeah.
It's just Image is crazy. The fact that all of these artists and writers grouped together because Marvel and DC were taking everything from them. weren't
It's such a
compensating
cool
them
story.
enough.
Yeah.
It's
Plus
the
they're doing
coolest
what they
backstory.
want to do.
It's the coolest
They got the
backstory.
the greatest
like, I would
origin.
read a comic. I would read a comic based on the history of Image Comics. Like, give me that Image.
Going back a little bit to Invincible and tying it into talking to some of these artists and everything, there were not only was Ottley there, but there were a handful of other artists who have worked on Invincible-related comics. And, we're going to talk more about these artists when we do the tie-ins, but we've mentioned the Invincible Presents Adam, Eve, and Rex Blode a ton of times talking about Eve's backstory or Rex's backstory. Bill and I have talked about Brit a lot. That's Nate Bellegarde, at least for the second and third volume of Brit, and for the Invincible Presents. But Nate Bellegarde is here. Got to talk to him. Got some commissions from him. He was a really great guy.
What character did you do?
So I collect. I have a book that I collect all my Invincible commissions, and a book that I collect all of my Batman family commissions. Him, I got a Nightwing from,
and
it came out awesome.
Yep.
It came out very, very cool.
Awesome.
Yep. I had him contribute to my sketch card collection of Invincibles, and he did an Invincible for me for that.
Awesome.
And we also got to talk to
Ransom Getty,
who is such a cool guy.
He also
Guardians of the Galaxy. I got a commission.
Guardians of the Globe.
Guardians
Guarding the
Globe.
Globe. I have to think for 2 minutes straight before saying that.
So he did that, and he was awesome. We talked to him probably the most out of any artist.
Mm-hmm. He's such a nice guy. He's so chill.
He did a Rex Blode for me, and everyone knows he's my favorite character, so I gave that to him to do. And he had never drawn Rex Blode before, because that was everything that he drew was post his death.
Yep.
So he was excited to draw him, and it came out so good.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
that did
good.
come out awesome.
Mm-hmm. I, of course, got a sketch card from him. And then there was also Kari Randolph that we talked to. He was the artist on Tech Jacket, not the first issue, or even, I'm not even sure he was in the first trade, but after the first trade, he did everything. Yeah. So that includes,
another great
Tech Jacket
great
Digital and the newer run of Tech Jacket when it came back.
Adam was also there, the guy who did the cover for Invincible 100, the Grim Reaper one.
Adam
Hughes.
Adams.
Adams.
Yes. So I got him to sign that cover. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool seeing.
There are a lot of people like that. I always want to say Jason Fabok, but it's not Jason Fabok.
Oh, Finch.
David Finch. David Finch did the cover to Invincible Returns. He was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He also does the Batman run for Rebirth, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Read that.
Yeah.
So it was cool. A lot of Invincible love this con, and it was really exciting. And then not only that, but then seeing Jen in her Invincible cosplay.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
She reached out to us.
Yeah.
She was a lot of fun.
So, yeah. What else stands out for this con? I mean, you got to pick up some of your back issues because you're working on your collection, right?
Yes. I am now the proud owner of an Invincible #1.
That's right.
Yes.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
excited.
Did you take it home?
I did.
You took it right home?
So we had discussed about going back to my hometown, which is only about an hour away from here anyways. So I was like, you know what? It's probably a good idea. I have a few things that I want to pick up.
Yeah.
And definitely quite a few things I want to drop off.
Yep.
My original pages from issue 105 that I bought at Ottley's booth.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yep. And definitely Invincible 1 I wanted to drop off. Make sure that was locked.
That's exciting. Isn't it kind of like a weight off your shoulders?
Yeah. Definitely.
Just to be like, you got one. You got the
I
hard
got one. And
so Ryan and I both have issue 1s, and they're 9.2s. And you have a 9.4, and when you because you reached out to us, and you were like, it's 250, when Ryan got the message, and he was like, he told me about it, and I was like screaming at him. I was like, tell him to get it. He was like 250 for a 9.4 post.
The cost of grading and shipping and everything.
Movie announcement, you'll never see that again ever. Yeah. And to see that at a cons are like. They always rack up the prices like really high. That's
my girlfriend
insane.
was telling me to go for it too, but she was.
Oh, was she? I was nervous that she was the one telling you no, and then we're the guys telling you yes.
Was like, that's a lot of money for one comic, and I was like,
9.4.
And I kept on telling her, it's an investment. It's an investment.
Yeah.
It really, really is. Yeah. That's awesome.
Man, do you remember when Bill? And of course, obviously, Bill couldn't be here with us, but do you remember when Bill bought Walking Dead issue 1 as like a bundle? He got like 1 through 50 or something like that from a guy, and this was like a year and a half before the TV show announcement, and he probably got it for like $100 or something.
Oh, that's
all of
ridiculous.
those. Oh yeah, that guy has got to be kicking himself. So I don't know. Hopefully that'll work out.
I was excited for you when you posted it, or when you messaged us back and said you got it. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
I had to.
I feel like all this time we spent with you at the con, we didn't talk too much about the movie. Do you have high hopes for the movie?
I have very high hopes for the movie.
Who's your Invincible pick?
Who's my Invincible pick?
Mark Grayson.
I don't have any other. Like, I'm honestly cool with anybody besides Alan. If there is no point on making the Invincible movie, absolutely zero point on making the Invincible movie if you cannot get Dwayne The Rock Johnson to play Alan the Alien. There's no
I agree
point.
with you.
There's no
I agree with
like,
you.
Just don't even make the movie.
I know, but I don't want to be disappointed by saying that because it probably won't happen.
At this point, I'm
Would
going to be
he do it?
disappointed.
That's the thing. Like,
I think he would.
You know, maybe I'm sure they'd probably reach out to him, but
I think that.
I mean, in all the comedies that The Rock has done, he hasn't crossed paths with Seth Rogen yet, has he?
oh, I'm sure he has.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
sure I know physically, but I mean,
No, I
in
know.
movies.
I'm sure there's got to be a movie that they've done together.
Well, even still, Zac Efron has ties with Seth Rogen and whatnot, and they did Baywatch together. So I'm sure.
Well, and The Rock, yeah.
Yeah, and The Rock was in Baywatch. So there's tie-ins there definitely. There's.
Speaking of Invincible movie, last night when we were in the hotel, we were watching Disney Channel with
Kitty put the Disney Channel on.
Ryan's wife,
Invincible came on.
and it was
Sky?
No, that wasn't Sky High.
Wasn't Sky High?
What's his name? Alexander's Terrible Horrible Day or something like that.
No Good Bad Day or something
yeah,
like that.
and Dylan Minetti from 13
Reasons Why,
Reasons
which is
Why
a person that people
is
are
dating-
fan casting for Invincible.
Yeah, is in that movie is dating Bella Thorne. So, we
we
saw
turned-
them.
So we turned
we
on
saw
the
them
TV
together
in a
and,
school. Like we
yeah.
turned on the TV, and there's a character that people have been fan
and they're like
casting for
fighting each other
Invincible.
because like
yeah, and he walks
they're
into
dating.
he walks into a school hallway, and Bella Thorne is there. And this is the first time I'd seen Bella Thorne act or move. You know, I mean, other than just pictures. And so we got to see the two of them interact, and it was kind of funny just watching that, thinking like,
and it would work. It would definitely.
It would.
It would.
I mean, I don't know. We've talked
she
a
would
little,
definitely work. I think Dylan Minetti. I like him a lot.
Is Jess her name that recommended that? Mm-hmm. Okay, when she said that
Jen,
on the
Jen.
Jen, yeah. Jen, when she said that on the podcast and you guys said that, instantly, I never thought of it before, and I was like, I could see that.
We've talked a little bit about though that I'm not sure she's stable enough to carry a franchise, you know, because Adam Eve would have to pretty much practically carry it alongside
I disagree.
Invincible.
I think she can do it.
I'd be nervous that she just doesn't sign on for more movies or something like that. She just seems a little too much of a loose cannon right now. I don't know, but we'll see. Should be fun.
I've always been the kind of guy where, example, when Civil War came out with the movie, people were complaining like you don't have the Punisher in it, you don't have the Fantastic Four,
Oh, yeah.
which the Fantastic Four tie-in to Civil War is one of the most important ones.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was complaining about that, and I'm sitting here like, I don't want to go and see a movie of something exactly that I know of, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to go and sit down and just watch the comic book.
Yeah.
I want something different.
No, I get that, and that has been the stance on Walking Dead for a long time now. Like
Yeah,
Kirkman
yeah.
saying, "Hey, I don't want to just do the same thing. I don't want you guys to know where it's going.
And I
don't want."
hope he carries that over to Invincible. I mean, I hope he stays true to the core of the book, you know? Like,
Yeah.
But I'm very much okay with changing it up. Like maybe even where you guys have talked about maybe not starting in high school, maybe starting with adult Mark.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think I want the Invincible movie to be more grown up than high school.
What do you mean?
I don't want it. I don't want
You
high
don't want
school
the
to be in the
school?
movie.
I don't know. That was my original.
Like, don't make it
thought.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Like,
that was my
we don't
original
need
thought.
it.
But I don't know. I'm starting to think. I don't know. But with all this talk of Kirkman at San Diego Comic-Con saying that they brought me a cool idea. They've got a really cool take on it. Saying stuff like that makes me feel like something's gonna be very different in it. Like whether it be just.
He said that their take on it was everything I wanted, and I didn't even know it.
And he didn't even. Yeah, exactly. So this is something
That was a great line.
Yeah. So if it was Mark in high school, and if it was, very similar to the comic, then Kirkman wouldn't say something like that. You'd think, right?
Yeah.
So I think
I trust Kirkman.
No, I know, and I trust Kirkman, and I love the fact that they're communicating together. Like they're
Daily at
talking
this
all
point,
the
yeah.
time. That's great. That also tells me that it's happening. It's not something that
it's
Seth Rogen's
constantly
company
something
didn't
that-
just buy this and hold on to it.
I want more.
No.
I want to know.
No, we're not gonna know anything
I'm
more
excited
until
for
next
It's gonna be
year.
a long, long time ago.
I'm just excited. I want
Long
more
time
action
to go.
figures.
I honestly don't think we're going to be talking about the movie again in any terms of real news until at least a year from now.
Yeah, I'm thinking Comic-Con next year, maybe ish.
Yeah.
They'll have some announcements, maybe casting.
Small announcements. Yeah, maybe that the script is done, maybe that they're looking to start casting, but then the year after that is when I think we're going to get some real meat.
It's like I said before, though, they never really announce anything at any big events. They always announce it on like a random Tuesday.
Yeah, right, yeah. That's how Skybound is.
Yeah, now
I love that though.
well-
It's awesome, like waking up to like some crazy fucking news.
Yeah, and we'll mention it on this episode, I'm sure, before this, before you guys are listening to this. But the Skybound and Amazon thing just happened, so Skybound's just nuts right now.
It just happened, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
They're starting to blow up, yeah.
So,
let's start talking more Invincible. Who's your favorite character?
Angstrom Levy, hands down.
That's awesome, because Angstrom is my second favorite character, and he's after Rex. And he's my favorite villain.
And we were talking a little bit earlier, but we stopped because we wanted to say it for the podcast. You commissioned that from Ransom Getty?
I did. And
That's
he
gonna be
was
awesome.
so excited.
Really?
Very excited.
That's right up his alley, too,
yeah,
and his style and design.
He was like, right when I said that, he was like, I'm loving the Invincible commissions this
Yeah, right?
con."
We're all hitting him up with Invincible commissions.
He did a Suicide Squad, and he said that everybody that comes up to him always just wants a Harley Quinn, so he's like, it's been a relief for us to actually give him some Invincible stuff. Yeah, he loves it. So
he's so excited. And when I told him that, he's like, well, do you want Angstrom Levy before the brain thing or after?
Oh yeah, because then he has all those
the veiny brain thing, and I'm like, what do you think? Like, come on, man. And he was like, yeah, I know, I was just kidding with you. That would be no fun to do it beforehand, right? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. But
That's
he's very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that later. But so that means what? Issue 33?
Yeah, I'm with
Issue
TJ.
33 is your favorite.
I'm with TJ on this one.
It's a great issue.
It's so good.
And the coolest part about that is that you guys get everybody does, but you guys get Marvel Team Up too. You guys get an expanded issue 33.
In my opinion, issue 33 was the first starting point to the very serious conflict. I mean, obviously you had issue 11 and 12 with Omni-Man, but Mark was in serious danger. Mark's family was in serious danger in this issue, and this was the first issue where you were like, wow, this
what
is
I love
real.
about it too is that the reason why I think it was the perfect issue is because such serious shit was going on, and they still found room to have fun. You know what I mean? I just had this conversation earlier today, about the costume. He's talking to Batman.
That was
you know what I mean?
Egats talking humans or whatever, and the dinosaurs.
But such serious stuff is going on at the same time. That's why I think that particular issue had everything in it. It had action. It was funny. It was emotional. It was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, at the end when he kills Angstrom, that
and that was
the first time. That was the first time he killed. He didn't know how to handle it.
Yes, and not only that, but that was was that the first time he was really enraged? We saw Angry Mark, because we saw him get his ass kicked on Flaxa with his dad. Right before that, we got his dad beat him up in
that was issue
in 12.
26, 27.
Yeah. So this was the first time seeing Angry Mark, and I mean,
this was his first breaking point. Yes, I agree.
And that has been a big part of this series: is Mark getting angry and fighting and rage. Rage is a theme in this comic, and that was the first time, and that led to a lot, him having to deal with the fact that he killed someone. And not only that, but then we find that goes on to have greater ramifications with Angstrom coming back and that dimension where he gets stranded in. There's so much more to that, him telling the future Eve coming back. Issue 33 is an important issue.
Very good.
So I want to get your thoughts on the End of All Things. Before we do, I'll mention that we are recording this before the newest issue, which is 139, comes out. So
it's on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it's actually in a few days.
This is Sunday and from Wednesday.
So this recording will be tacked on to the end of our new issue discussion of 139. But as we are recording now, we have not read said issue. So your thoughts on 133 to 138?
Is he dead? Is Omni-Man dead?
Is Omni-Man dead? I'd be very disappointed if he wasn't.
I agree.
But I emailed you guys when you asked what the one thing the series needed to do before it ended, and that was the one thing I said, and it's the one thing that had to happen.
Especially him and Mark having that moment about Nyssa, that sealed it. That was it.
Yeah, right after that, it was
showing Eve that she can't help.
It's the resolution to the first conflict of the series that still hasn't been answered. Omni-Man had to die. And I thought it was going to be on Earth. I thought that it was going to be broadcasted and everybody on Earth was going to see his sacrifice.
Yeah, said that, right?
That's what I thought too.
That was a great idea.
That was really cool.
I really thought that
I
it was.
That too.
I mean, they could still have a funeral for him on Earth and whatnot. And
which I think they're going to.
Yeah.
One. Is it the next issue or is it 141?
141 has...
Everyone's on the cover crying.
Yeah.
I think it's his funeral.
It's the one with Nolan. That's what I said. I think that's when Debbie finds out he's dead, or if there's a funeral, something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's exciting.
It's Omni-Man definitely needed that retribution where, everybody knows that
I feel
he
like
was
it's
good in the end.
It's been a Nolan story. This whole comic has been about like Mark and his father.
And that's why it was great seeing that splash page to reckon back to the Flaxon Dimension fight with Mark. Like this has been a long story. From the very beginning. You tell somebody, somebody asks what Invincible is that doesn't know anything about it. And you say it's the story of the world's greatest superhero's son. This has been about Omni-Man throughout almost the entire thing. And there have been times where obviously it takes, we don't see Nolan for a while or something like that. But, he's a very important character. And it's
one of the most
this is a big deal.
That's why I bought an original page that had him on it.
Yes.
Very important.
So, like, another thing is, we didn't really talk about this on the last issue, but, or maybe we did, I don't know. What do you think this is going to do to Mark? Because, like I said, this was this whole story has been about really, like, him and his father and building their relationship, and that was the meat of this title, of the title of Invincible. So how do you think he's going to react to this?
I think there's going to be a breaking point. Everybody has a breaking point.
He's had many.
Mark has had many. Mark has had whenever. And it's the cool thing about reading this comic is it doesn't seem generic. Like a lot of times you'll read comic books and like obviously superheroes are very, very close to their family and friends and whatnot, but it doesn't seem generic with Mark because Mark's snap seems very sincere, very real.
Yes, yeah.
Unlike other
that almost
comics.
makes me feel like the last issue ended with his face screaming,
and I think
just
that
stare in his face.
means
it
more
means more. I feel
than
like I almost
it
feel
means,
like
yes.
this next issue, which obviously if you're listening to this, you already know, but I almost feel like it might
jealous
start.
of you people in the future.
people. I almost feel like it might start and he's just in shock. Do you think I don't know if he's going to snap instantly, but I almost feel like he's going to be just stunned for a minute.
I think he's gonna break
snap.
free and kill some motherfuckers.
I keep thinking of issue.
He's gonna rip
I keep
people
thinking
apart.
of issue 50. Remember when the thing was going off in his head and he was fighting through it and just cutting Reaniman in half?
Yep.
I'm almost picturing that Mark, like that level Mark, because we haven't seen that in a while.
He's gonna freak out.
It's gonna be interesting for sure. I don't necessarily know if we're gonna see a bad side of Mark like you guys have talked about.
Yeah, a lot of people have even written in and said like, is this the point in which we see evil Mark because we, Robot always says
they don't have enough left to resolve that.
Exactly. I'd be worried because that would mean that's how the series is going to end. If we see an evil side
of Mark, how are they gonna turn that around and be like Mark was really
in
good
6
in the
issues?
end? Yeah.
Exactly.
That'd be a Kirkman thing to do, though.
Very
for
Kirkman thing
shit
to do.
like, oh.
Where he
I
is
would love
evil,
that, though.
where he's evil
I would
in the
love
end.
that.
Funny enough, we were talking about today. I was talking about with my friend Matt, who has only read the first 7 volumes. And he was asking me what issue would it end on. I said 144. He's like, they couldn't just use 6 issues of filler. And I was like, that's the point of a
Filler?
That's the.
You just answered your own question.
Yeah, we don't need to end on 150.
Yeah.
That's a generic superhero thing that like comic companies are like, yeah, we need to end on this certain issue.
Yep.
It's such a Kirkman thing to be like, no, we're gonna end on issue.
What's crazy too is
No, it's gonna end at it's gonna be the right amount to have a 12th volume, the right amount to have a 13th compendium. That's how he's ending it,
Yep.
we talked to Ottley yesterday, and he said that he was on the plane over to Boston. He was currently drawing issue 142, and that Kirkman's not even done writing the end of the series yet.
Oh no,
he
and
knows
Kirkman
what he
said
wants
that.
to do.
Yeah,
but
Kirkman said that in San Diego.
Yeah.
he's still not done.
He's still
like,
not done.
That's crazy.
Because they were
He's
saying
like, he knows what he wants to do, but he hasn't had it down on paper.
yet.
Which is funny. It's like he even said, I think it was in the letters column. He was like, "Hey, so if there's anything you want to see in the end, let me know because I'm still writing."
Explode? Bring him back.
You got him in reboot.
No, he said when Rex was he said in the letters column when Rex died that he will never come back. They'll never bring him back.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because we need characters that die and stay dead.
And stay dead.
But he was the only one. Like I feel like
Conquest
maybe
finally
not.
died and stayed dead. There's others.
Yeah,
but
a lot
I'm
saying heroes.
Oh,
Rex was the only hero that really that was had a significant death and
until
stayed
Robot.
Until Robot, yeah.
Wiped
I was
half
just
of them
about
out.
to bring that up.
dead.
Yeah.
Took out Cecil. Yeah,
Shapesmith. Who else?
Black Samson.
Black Samson. Yep.
but none of them matter.
Shapesmith.
They all matter.
Compared to Rex Flode.
Kid Thor.
Oh, Kid Thor.
Knockout.
Is so depressing.
Man, I've been rereading. I just recently reread Guarding the Globe, and I mentioned that on the last podcast. But yeah, so good.
Guarding the Globe, in my opinion, is the most important tie-in. If you don't read that, how are you going to know all the characters?
Yeah.
They introduce all those characters, and I was actually talking to Ransom about it yesterday. I was telling him, I was like, I'm not trying to toot your horn here, but you have the most important Invincible tie-in, hands down.
Yeah,
Guarding the Globe.
I mean,
is
it
so
literally
important.
became Invincible Universe too.
All the Easter eggs that make Invincible better because of reading
that universe.
Guardians.
It's
If
universe
you're
building.
just reading the main line of Invincible, you don't know who Yeti is. You
Yeah.
don't know who Best Tiger is, because all of
Best
those
Tiger,
characters.
man. I love Best
But
Tiger.
even that, you
I
can
always
say,
think about getting a
Best
commission
Tiger
from him.
is so great.
Yeah, Best
But-
Tiger's cool. He's the Deadpool.
But
of the
even
Invincible
right.
universe.
But even like you mentioned Yeti. Yeti ties into Brit Volume
Volume 1, yep.
Like what?
Yep.
Like it's so cool, this universe. So we're kind of running a little bit long. I think we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to talk about, guys?
Oh, I'm enjoying our conversation.
So am I.
Me too.
This is fun.
What is something that you want to see before the end? We got how many issues? 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. 6 more issues.
Yeah.
I just want more Earth-based stuff. They said that
that's coming.
Kirkman said, "Hey, we're gonna tie up all the loose ends of the Invincible universe, Wolfman, Brit, and we're not getting any tie-ins." So I just all these characters that I'm in love
That's
with.
why I felt like the first, I can't say the first half of this, End of All Things, but yeah, kind of this first half, I feel like has felt a little different, and I think that's because we're not seeing, and I've talked about this before, it's because we're not seeing that Invincible universe that we were just talking about, the thing that we love about Invincible, all these characters and all these references, because a lot of it has been Mark's plan and resolving all this.
And
you
before
know
that, Mark not working anymore.
Yes, exactly.
Mark taking his vacation. I
Yeah,
guess.
so it's been a while since we've seen what we loved about this comic, and we still love this. It's just we kind of want to go back to the way it was, and I think we're going to see. I think we're going to get some of that soon. Robot going into space. I mean, I can't
definitely
wait.
a resolution with Robot as well. I mean, there's that conflict still hanging. What's
I
Mark
think that's
gonna
going to
do?
be the final.
What I initially thought was that I didn't think Nolan was going to die till the very end, and I thought that Nolan was going to find out about Robot, and Nolan was going to...
Yeah, we talked about that back when during Corey Walker's arc, that because Nolan and Robot were such close friends that something was going to go that way. Which again, everybody's already read the new issue, but at this point, Robot knows Nolan is dead. So
I want Mark to avenge Cecil. That's all I want. I need that. That's the one thing in this comic that is still surprised me to this day. I thought he was an untouchable. I really did.
Cecil was.
Cecil was an
issue.
untouchable to me, and just as I was in disbelief.
That issue was insane.
That's 111, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that I.
112 or 13?
No, it was
No, I
111.
think it
I
is
thought
111.
111 was the rape scene.
Nope, 110.
110.
Ah, that's
110,
right. That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was just thinking about that the other day too, because you got the yesterday as well, because you got the commission for Robot and Monster Girl, right?
Yep, just like the
And that
110
was
cover.
issue 111, when 110. So putting those two next to each other is going to be so awesome.
Yep. And I
was
love
just thinking about that.
my favorite relationship in the comic, other than obviously Mark and Eve, is the Monster Girl Robot relationship.
I was so happy.
And
to
that's
get
why I loved buying that page. So I got the page of Robot
I was so happy
falling
to,
to
get
the floor after having his drones throw her into space.
I was so happy to get a page of Mark and Eve kissing. Like that's all. I just want a romantic page with Mark and Eve, and I'm just.
Yeah, and shout out to Francois. We met him. He has an Invincible tattoo. He
was the
cool.
first
He bought
in
him.
He was
line.
the first in
Yeah.
line for Ryan
He
Ollie.
said he was like nervous that we were going to be there and buy everything up.
he got a page of Robot and Monster Girl kissing. So yeah,
That's awesome.
good stuff. This has been a ton of fun. I was really happy with the way this con went, and meeting all these fans of Invincible and listeners of the podcast, and talking to all these artists that have worked on Invincible.
Honestly, all the people that we met that have love for the podcast, and you yourself, your love for the podcast has made us feel cooler than we actually are. So thank you for that,
You are
and everybody
cool.
else.
Trust me, you are that cool.
We really appreciate it. Honestly, this
You guys are
weekend
my
has been
car
awesome.
rides. You guys, like I said when I first came here, it was weird hearing your voices in person.
Which is always funny to me because
because I just when I hear you guys, I just
I'm sick of
automatically
hearing
picture
Ryan's voice, so
I just automatically picture my car in my head when I hear
Yeah,
you
you're
guys' voice.
driving?
I'm like
it's like if you close your eyes right now,
I'm
you're
driving.
driving.
pretty much, yeah.
That is funny because anytime I've listened to a lot of podcasts, and it is always weird seeing the faces on the other end. But
Yep,
we appreciate it, and we appreciate everybody that listens. So
yeah.
And shout out to Mike Barrett for recommending me to you guys, because greatest recommendation.
Mike Barrett, who just got one of the best original art pages.
Yep, saw that on Twitter.
So
I just bought a page from him. I got a splash page of Mark and Eve and Tara all in their nursery, which is perfect.
And I love that because that's when Mark says, "I think we should leave it."
Leave Earth. That was their last time on the last issue
Tying
with them
back
on
to
Earth
the King Immortal
before
prophecy.
they came back. Yeah.
God, one of my favorite issues. All right. I think that does it, guys. Devin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having
and we'll
me,
be
guys.
talking.
Happy birthday again.
Happy birthday, yeah.
20 years old.
Congratulations on your issue 1. Congratulations on your first con, meeting Ottley, first pages, all that. So,
Commission.
yeah, it's been
Stanley, everything.
Stanley, you've
It's
had a great
It's been a great weekend.
great
Dream weekend.
So, everybody, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Do 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 do.
And we're back. Thanks again, Devin, for that chat. We had a great time talking, and I hope everybody enjoyed listening to that conversation. Now, before we end this podcast, we've been talking, and we thought it'd be fun to actually talk about some other stuff other than Invincible, because we never really get a chance to do that. So we're going to talk for a few minutes about other various movies, comics, and TV shows that we've been watching. So enjoy.
It's the Other Stuff Show.
With the gang.
Talking about other stuff. Ooh, yeah.
All right, so welcome to the Other Stuff After Show, with other stuff talking to other guys about other things. Have you guys been playing any video games lately?
I've been replaying Shadow of Mordor,
Oh, really?
getting ready for Shadow of War.
Getting ready
Did
for
you
the
guys
new one?
play it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you beat it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you play it, TJ?
I played some of it. I thought it was okay.
Oh,
I didn't like the
God.
world.
It was,
I don't-
yes.
That's what's going to be
Weird.
awesome about the second one, is that it's actually going to be
I might
different.
continue it and finish it.
Yeah,
But
the first one was
honestly,
a little
like,
bland.
when does it come out?
The
second one?
In a couple of months. I think September's next month, isn't it? I think a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not like extremely excited about it, but I mean the next Uncharted comes out Tuesday. So
I'm hearing pretty good things.
That got
I mean,
like a
it's all right.
7. It got a 7.5.
I'm hearing that it's just more Uncharted. It
Yeah.
doesn't add anything to it, which I'm totally cool
But
with.
with girls.
Yeah,
And you
I
don't
know.
like girl like lead
I don't like
playable
lead
characters.
girl characters. I can't relate to them.
Sexist.
A little bit.
Interesting. Ryan, you
I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and I love it.
That was one game though.
We've
that
talked
I
about
did
that
not
before.
mind a girl character.
So far, it's amazing. I'm not crazy about the story that's going on. I find myself kind of
Waiting to get
reading,
there to the next
kind of
thing.
reading the subtitles quicker than they're talking, so I could skip it faster and get through it. Which, I mean, I'm still getting the story. I just don't care too much about it.
I think there's an interesting amount of story in that there's like tribe stuff that happens, but then there's also like the main arc, like what the fuck, where did these things come from, like
Yes.
where are they in time?
Which right now I'm in the point in which it's just all tribe stuff, and it's just like, all right,
It's boring.
whatever.
Yeah.
But just being out in the open and sneaking around and taking down these robo dinosaurs is just a lot of fun. It reminds me a lot of BioShock.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what it felt like to have different plasmids and have different abilities in BioShock and turn a corner and hearing a Big Daddy coming and being like, all right, here we go. I'm going to try and take him
Still
down.
did not even compare to BioShock for me though.
There-
I mean the game itself.
There are some games in which I die a lot, and that was one of the games.
That game was so fucking
that
hard.
I died so many fucking times.
Yeah.
So many times. But the
I'm constantly healing myself.
I loved the story of the ending. Like the last 2
And
hours of
the,
that game are fucking awesome.
and the expansion's in November.
Yeah, and I can't fucking wait for that. That's
gonna
gonna
be
be good. That's gonna be good. What about shows?
Any TV shows?
Game of Thrones.
Oh my God, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is moving so much faster.
It's almost too fast. But I'm okay with it.
No,
I'm
you know
okay
what?
with
I
it.
actually disagree with that because the last episode I thought was kind of slow.
Holy shit. We won't get into spoilers because, you know, that's not what the show is.
It has been the most
But man,
eventful.
It's one of those things that,
It
it was kind of like Invincible, where the new issue comes out and it's like, all right, so can I talk about it on Twitter yet? Do people want to talk about it? Like, you got to be careful what you say. People are posting pictures. Game of Thrones, if you don't watch it the night it comes out, it's spoiled for you. That's
Yeah.
it.
So it's
But-
your fault.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we're not going to spoil it. It's amazing. It's
This is by far the best season
Super
because it's like
consistent.
it's like the final season of like Breaking Bad where it's like shit is happening.
it's all these things that, like, here's a character that we've been wanting to get to the point that they've been trying to get to. They're all there. All the characters are there.
They're all lining up.
A bunch. This last episode, again, no spoilers, but this last episode ended with a bunch of characters coming together, and it was like
That you
they
never-
all kind of connect in this
Yeah.
crazy like 5 degrees of separation.
It feels weird. It feels
so
alien.
weird.
It
It
feels,
does.
It feels alien. I don't know how to watch it. I don't
I
know
know.
what to think.
I know,
You know,
because
like,
normally I'm thinking, how do they know each other? But they're actually saying it and
Right.
communicating, and it's awesome.
Right.
It's so good. Any other shows you guys watching?
Or Zach.
Never heard of it.
I wanted to watch it because I like
Ozark.
What is it?
like Jason Bateman. He's awesome.
okay.
It's a Netflix show.
Ready?
It's getting really good reviews.
Here's what it is, because me and Liz started it. Yeah, dude.
It's Breaking Bad.
Me and Liz started it, and I looked at the clock, and it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh fuck, we need to go to bed. And dude, it is so good. I don't like Jason Bateman. I think that he is the same.
What?
Listen, hear me out. He is the same. I don't like him like I don't like Denzel Washington. They're the same fucking character. Jason Bateman plays Jason Bateman in every fucking movie. You're wrong on both.
You're wrong on both.
Except for Book of Eli was amazing, but he was Denzel Washington. But anyways, Jason Bateman in this, I think, plays a character that he's never done before. He directed the first 2 episodes, and so impressive that I was like, who directed this? And I IMDb'd it, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, Jason Bateman directed it. Dude, it is so good.
Okay. We'll check it out.
I always
Katie
need
and I
to watch it, but I'm like, I use Netflix for like football documentary shows.
Oh my god.
You know how? Okay, so I always say Breaking Bad is the best
So I
show.
gotta catch up on that.
And the best thing that I've ever seen with my 2 eyes, movie, anything like that. And this almost fills the void.
Katie loves Breaking Bad and has been wanting to rewatch it.
You guys will fucking love Ozark.
We have been rewatching The Office, and it's so good. It's been long enough where
It's coming off of Netflix.
I know, but we're
in like 2 weeks, I think.
I don't give a fuck.
You guys been reading any other comics or books in general?
I am almost caught up on Batman. I was only a couple of issues.
How are our jokes and riddles? It's one of those things that I love Riddler, and I want it to be good.
3 issues into that, and it's very good.
Okay.
It's very good. It's not something... Riddler is awesome in it.
Yeah.
So I do think that you should read it.
Yeah.
It's very smart.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very... I'm enjoying it. I just read today, it just came out as we're recording this. Yesterday it came out as we're recording this. Batman Metal, which I talked to you guys a little bit about it before. It's a little weird, but it's very good, and I'm interested to read the next issue. And fucking, like, I know I talk about it a lot. Descender is so good.
I will read it, I promise.
It's so good.
I will. That's not ongoing, though, is it? Isn't it just one trade?
No, it's ongoing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Saga is next week?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, Saga's been good.
So when this comes out... Oh, it'll still be next week because this comes out
It's a little heartbreaking what's going on right now.
It's devastatingly heartbreaking, especially if you have children.
Oh, I bet.
Like, it's...
Yeah. Again, no spoilers on that.
Yeah, I won't get into it. Are you caught up?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you are not caught up, like, out of all the things that we've mentioned,
Saga's awesome.
You gotta
I don't even know why.
I forgot who
why?
I spoke to at Boston Comic Con. It might have been Devin, but we were talking about Saga, and he was saying, or whoever was saying, that they like reading it in chunks, and it is a better comic like that, like Walking Dead is.
I agree.
And I kind of agree. It is a little much just reading it monthly, Saga, because it's so dense in what is going on. But yeah, I love it. I've been reading a lot of Spider-Man lately. I love Renew Your Vows, Stegman's thing. He just released the issue that came out yesterday was the first one that he wrote, not drew. I thought when he told me at Comic-Con that he wrote it and drew it, he just wrote it. So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
I'm hearing really good things about it.
He talked about it when we went to the sketch duel. He said someone asked a question about writing, and he was like, "Well, I'm the one that asked. Actually, I asked if he would want to work with anybody else, and he's like, now that I'm a writer,
yes.
He talked about the person that is drawing for him and that dynamic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've also been reading the Kind of Funny morning show on Wednesdays do their required reading for a certain comic.
Yeah.
One of them was Spider-Man Blue. Have you ever read that, TJ?
No, but I love
Holy
the artist
shit.
that does that. The artist that does it is great.
It's so good. It was so good.
Maybe
and it was, yeah, you should. But I highly recommend that.
How's Tokyo Ghost?
Tokyo Ghost was awesome. It had
you finished it?
Oh yeah.
Can I borrow it? Because I was gonna buy it.
Yeah.
But if I
met Sean Gordon Murphy at Boston Comic Con. He did like a little sketch of the main character in the book for me.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to read that too.
It was again like kind of how I described Batman Metal. Very weird. It starts out extremely weird where you're like, I'm not gonna like this. And then like the first issue ends and you're like, oh, okay, so there's a little emotion here. And then you continue it and like the ending was great. Like there's like a big battle at the end and
is there a definitive end? Like it is
yes,
okay.
There is a definitive end. It's very definitive like. Very good.
Cool. Anything else, guys? I mean, any movies in theaters coming out? Anything excited to see?
It.
Is that coming out this week?
Oh, no, September 8th. Cannot wait.
So 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
I will not see that.
Really? You're
No
not going
way.
to go see that?
That's way too spoopy.
Spoopy. Spoopy. Let's
Yeah,
expound on
not
how spoopy it's going to be.
Not a fan of those scary stuff.
Those
Something
scary
comes
stuff.
out this week, doesn't it? I feel like something is this week that I was looking forward to.
Yeah, I feel like there is.
I don't know. I think that it's been kind of a little bit of a lull.
A little bit of a lull.
Yeah, in the movie area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defenders comes out this weekend. You guys gonna watch that?
No, I'm not.
I'm probably going to watch it.
I, in my right mind, cannot bring myself to watch it until I watch Iron Fist, and I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I haven't watched that or Nick Cage.
Neither have I, and I haven't finished.
I watched
Jessica
like
Jones.
first four episodes of Nick Cage, and I was like, this is very not good.
His name's Luke.
Luke Cage.
Nick Cage movie. I would watch Nick Cage.
I don't know if I would. The movie that I really wanted to see, that I was going to ask you if you want to go see it, Bill, because I feel like it's a movie that you and I would kind of relate on. It's kind of flying under the radar right now, but it's like a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes right now. It's called Logan Lucky, and it's got Channing Tatum in it and Adam Driver.
Yes, Kylo Ren.
Where it's like a heist movie.
Awesome. It looks so funny.
Yeah. I want to see that. That's this weekend, right?
Is it not? Yeah, it's this week.
And Daniel Craig's in it. It's getting a lot.
Let's go this weekend. We're gonna fucking go and see that
marketed.
movie.
We should see that.
That looks awesome.
Can I
Yeah,
come?
I want to see that. That does it. We good, guys? We're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Let us know what you guys think of us talking about other shit at the end of the episode. We might do this, we might not. Remember, you can email us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. Write to us, let us know what you think of what's going on in Invincible. I think next episode in 2 weeks should be the Wolfman Volume 3 discussion.
Can't wait.
And then,
Listen to it.
Wow. It's harsh. So yeah, email us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. I think that does it, guys. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks, TJ, Bill.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Is this segment called Other Stuff with the Gang?
Other stuff with the gang.
The Other Stuff After Show with the Gang talking about other stuff.
That's what we do. That's what it is. That's what it is.
So it's the Other Stuff After Show with the gang talking about other stuff.
Yes.
That's what it is.
What's the acronym for
It
that?
writes itself.
It is Tasas what gets out.
Rolls off the tongue.
Can we make a song for Other Stuff with the Gang?
Sure. Do you
Like-
want like a little ditty that plays
Yeah.
before other stuff with the gang?
Yeah.
I do.
It's the Other Stuff Show.
I coughed in the beginning.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
It's the Other Stuff Show.
With the gang.
Dude, what? other stuff. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Doing backer bagel.